People scare better when they're dying.
Woo!
Everybody, what is up? Welcome to the Spaghetti Western Jamboree. This week, what are we talking about? We're talking about Sergio Corbucci's classic from 1968, Il Mercenario, also known as The Mercenary, also known as A Professional Gun. When I was a kid, basically the only spaghetti westerns that were on TV on the regular, of course, were the Sergio Leone movies, specifically the Dollars trilogy. But every now and then you might find another one, and this was one of those other ones. This is a fucking classic, great movie, definitely top 20, and you can watch it for free by clicking on the link below in the description. Although I know some people just, for some reason, don't trust Tubi or something like that, but guess what? You can also find it on YouTube. This is a very easy to find film. It's also on Freevee, on Amazon, so you're not going to have trouble finding it, and it is definitely worth your time. So we're going to get into that. We're going to check this movie out, and hopefully you'll check it out too. And if you already have, join us, give us your thoughts in the chat, because we welcome, of course, your interaction and your thoughts and your opinions. Anyway, let me bring on my boy, your boy, Preston Acevedo. What's going on, brother?
You know, I noticed in the beginning of this movie, they had those little people like walking out, you know, and
Yeah.
in the rodeo arena. Or what is it? Whatever.
Yeah, they're like rodeo clowns.
Yeah, and me and my wife, we're watching one of my favorite movies, all-time favorite movies, last night, Time Bandits.
Oh,
right?
hell yeah.
And the best part about that movie was the I think the stars of the show wasn't that little kid. It was the little people, right?
Yes.
Especially the leader of that
Yep.
band. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was thinking, I was like, and one thing I didn't know is that they had a remake. Like they have a TV series of Time Bandits.
Yeah,
of course,
Taika, our boy Taika Waititi.
it's produced by it's Taika Waititi, and they replaced all the little people. They they replaced all the little people with a hodgepodge of woke
Diversity.
placeholders, I guess you could say, right? I mean,
Right.
you got every nationality in there, but you don't
Diversity.
have any little people,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, I was like I know this is supposed to be like politically correct
Yeah,
and all
because
that kind
social
of stuff,
justice. Yeah.
but it's absolutely it isn't at all because you just ripped those roles away from some
No,
very
no,
talented
no,
actors.
no, no,
You know what
no.
I'm
You're
saying? Like,
protecting them. You're
yeah,
protecting them from being in movies or TV shows.
well, the guy who played one of the lead, he was the leader of the band of Time Bandits, right?
Yeah,
I was so impressed with that motherfucker. I was like, God
I
damn, this
know.
dude is badass, dude.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me see what else he was in. I wonder if he's still around. And Time Bandits was produced in 1981, and by 1990, he had shot himself in the chest with a 38 because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was
He was
he
in The
had
Bride too. Remember that?
yeah, but he had massive amounts of depression. You know what I'm saying? Like some
Well,
serious mental problems. But he was so
specifically,
talented too.
I know. It's super mega tragic what happened to him. Um, he was working on a TV show called The Wizard, and they evidently didn't want to insure him for another season because he's a dwarf, right? Have you ever
Yeah.
seen old dwarves? That's pretty rare. Billy Barty is the only one I could think of, right?
Yeah.
Angelo Rossito also, who was in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and a bunch of old, and was also in Freaks, by the way. So he was.
Well, one thing I found out.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't know. Well, you're right. Obviously, I mean, I never thought about that, but you're right. Like you don't see old dwarfs.
Right.
Now, one thing I did read when I was reading about his death was that he was supposed to be. He was like that next week. He had already been booked as a trader on Star Trek: Next Generation. So he shot himself right before that role.
That's horrible. Super duper tragic. Yeah, David Rappaport was his name. Well, I mean, you can't have dwarves now in the new Time Bandits because first of all, Taika Waititi, right? We know how he loves to take a
That's
franchise.
so bad, though, dude. You know what I'm saying? And
also specifically, Peter Dinklage put a stop.
Peter Dinklage is the biggest
Pulled that
asshole.
fucking ladder up right after him, man. That's right. All those fucking parts for little people, those are all for me now. Go fuck yourself.
You know, I hate to say it, but that was a pretty smart move for Peter Dinklage. You know, even though he's a fucking traitor to all
piece of
these
shit.
people.
He's a piece of shit for doing that. Is what he is.
And to be honest, I don't think he's that great of an actor. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but it's still a dick move.
Oh, it's a huge dick move.
And speaking of dick moves, what's up, Matt? What's going on, brother? What's up, son?
We're talking about Time Bandits.
I'm half of Edward Fortingham. I saw that.
Ooh,
I saw that. It looked kind of woke.
What you drinking?
No, I'm talking about the old Time Bandits, not the new one. Oh, Mickey's.
I never the Terry Gilliam. I never watched it. I always wanted to. It's on the list.
You never seen the original?
I saw that they had the new type.
Oh, dude, you got to see that. The dude looks like he has a face hugger on his head, like the evil guy.
Really?
Yeah, it's like two skeleton hands with a spine coming out of it, holding onto his head.
David Warner has
it's like PG. That's like PG-13. I was gonna watch it with my kids, but I wasn't sure.
It's amazing.
I don't know if it had that rated
incredible.
It's
done like traditionally, right? As far as like, and you can tell like at the end when they're going through like hell, you know, and they're in the castle of hell. Look closely, and you can see Legos included with the building. I'm serious, dude.
Yeah. It's a joke. That's in that movie.
That's cool, man.
Yep. Yeah. No, Time Bandits is a classic. That was, I think that was the first movie that Terry Gilliam made for a studio or production company, actually, that was created by George Harrison from the Beatles. And they were called handmade films because they were trying to make movies that weren't, cookie cutter assembly line bullshit.
And it's got 007 in it. Sean Connery.
And it's got Connery, yes, as
Highlander, fresh off Highlander.
Dude. And they also got dude, they got so many stars in
actors,
that fucking movie, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Sir Ralph Richardson as the Supreme Being.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta watch that. I've seen
It's
Baron
amazing.
Munchausen and I got Fear and Loathing, but that's like the one that got away from me, you know.
Oh, and you can watch this with your kids too. You can watch
That's
it.
what I
With
saw. I was like, dude, like there's a couple of 80s ones that I'm like, cool. Like Labyrinth
It's a
is
kids
good one.
movie for sure.
That's dope. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
What up, Bracey? What's going on,
It's a
man?
very dark
Kids
movie.
Don't touch it. It's evil.
It's fucking awesome.
Evil.
Yeah, the ending's a little fucked up, but like in a good way.
Right? You guys gonna go watch Beetlejuice?
Yep.
Probably not. Probably
That's
not.
that type of movie though that you're talking about, handmade, you know, but with a couple bucks behind it.
Well, it's got your boy's back as Beetlejuice, though, right?
Yeah,
And
he's
Winona.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Still
Willem
looking pretty
Dafoe.
cute. You know, that was my waifu back in the day.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe is a B movie actor that's turned a detective in the Netherworld. So that's gonna be a fun. His name's like Wolf Hartigan or something. And then Monica Bellucci is, I think it's gonna be Beetlejuice's ex-wife. Because in the movie he pulled out the ring and it had a chick's finger. He's like, she meant nothing to me, nothing at all. Remember that part?
Yeah.
So I think Monica Bellucci is that's yeah.
Dude,
I'm that hype. I'm that hype.
Monica
I honestly can't wait for that movie. Like, I really want to see it.
Yeah, dog. And like I watched like a Fandango did like a 30-minute little cash roundup. I love those things, you know. And Keaton was like, dude, I want to just make this fucking movie and not tell anybody and just be like, just drop the shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we made a little something for y'all. Check this shit out. Like, I was like, that would have been pretty gangster, you know. I think the movie is either gonna be like it's gonna do okay or it's gonna do fucking Top Gun Maverick numbers. Like it's one or the other.
Oh, it's gonna be a hit.
I think it's gonna be huge, like
Is it gonna
$1
be
billion.
good? That's the question.
Yeah.
And then of course that leads to the question of if it's a hit, is it gonna have legs? Right?
It's not gonna have a lot of Beetlejuice
beyond its opening. Are people gonna be telling their friends, hey, you need to check it out? Because of course the best advertising in the world is word of mouth.
Well, he was saying too, like if I'm going to sign on, and Beetlejuice ain't going to be the fucking just like in the first movie, he's only in it like 10 minutes. He's like, it has to be the same thing because you know we got the cartoon and like all this stuff. It has to be like original, otherwise I don't want to do it. But he's fucking down to keep making them though. Keaton is for sure.
Well,
Keaton's a beast, dude.
He's a fucking beast, dude.
I got to tell you though, I wouldn't watch the Flash movie. I don't care if Michael Keaton was in it or not. He's the only
thing that made it good. That's why I watched it, and it had the best Batman fight scene since Batman versus Superman. Yeah, had the best. Still, it's that one. Yeah, number 2 ever in my opinion ranking. It'd be Ben Affleck's warehouse fight to save Martha Kent, and then the fight scenes with Keaton when he's over in Russia.
I still haven't watched it, and then it's just one of those things where it's like it's in that pile of movies, and and there are movies that I'm in a hurry to get to, and there are movies that I'm not in a hurry to get to. And The Flash is one of those movies I'm like not in a hurry to get to, but one of these days I'm sure I'll give it a look.
I went and saw Deadpool versus Wolverine yesterday. Was it? Yeah, for $5. It was a blast. It was a blast. It wasn't as funny as The Mercenary, and I'm being totally honest with you.
Yeah.
But it had some laugh out moments, but not like this fucking movie. I was laughing out loud at The Mercenary nonstop.
Dude, I'll tell you straight up. We seen Maxine. Oh, dude, it was fucking amazing.
It's great, right?
I gotta check those out.
Best in the franchise, best in the trilogy, I think.
Dude, we got a gang of horror movies coming out, like a gang of dope movies coming out. We got Beetlejuice. We got Nosferatu, Terrifier, Hellboy, Crooked Man, and then there's one more too. There's 5. There's like 5. Can't remember. Alien Romulus. That's like 5.
Which looks dope.
I want to see that.
5 solid horror movies coming out. You know.
Yeah.
For the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I always say, it's like horror is cooking right now because it's a budget thing. You don't need
trying to set up Christmas Day, dude. I'm like, so who's gonna watch the kids? Because I want to go see Nosferatu Christmas Day. Like, I love going to the movies on Christmas Day. You know, after I make bacon and Cinnabons, and then have the kids open the presents. Like, let's go watch Lord of the Rings or fucking like I want to go see Nosferatu. Your sister watch the kids. That would be fucking cool, man.
You know, like when we were looking at the Bracey, you got to turn your mic on, bro. Sorry about that. When we watched the trailer for the Eggers Nosferatu, I was thinking like, this is what they should be doing. This is what Hammer should be doing. Bring
like
back
perfect.
Gothic horror, make it scary again.
Even if the movie's complete dog shit, that trailer is perfect.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And of course, like I said, Hammer Studios were officially back, and like we're gonna be a Gothic horror studio again, and all this other shit. And then they dropped the trailer for Dr. Jekyll, and it looked woke as fuck. That is going to be on Shudder soon. I think it's not even getting a theatrical release.
I'm sorry, dude, but I just right now. I mean, you don't know the politics in England, but the politics in England is like everything is like they're locking motherfuckers up for commenting on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Misgendering people, yeah.
There's no way I can see them starting Hammer now.
No way.
And it being like an actual horror movie studio, dude. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. You can't even preach into a microphone about Jesus, dude. They'll arrest you. But
exactly,
like 10 blocks over, you could pray to another god. And
exactly. Did you hear? I mean, did you see what Elon Musk like posted on X? Like they had 3 people on there. One of them was convicted of making T-shirts that were anti-Muslim or something like that, and the other one was putting out flyers, and both of them got almost a year in jail. Yeah, and the dude who raped three kids like got 6 months.
Yeah, the 3 little girls got stabbed to death too.
Yeah,
by Somali.
Can you guys?
Dude. It's crazy over there.
Can you guys hear me?
Nuts, dude.
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
It's not my microphone. It's StreamYard.
You might want to try adjusting your volume too. You might want to go click on settings, and because that's the thing, it's like whether you're using Zoom, whether you're using StreamYard, it's like they all have like different kind of volume settings. I've had to figure this out the hard way, man.
It asked me if I could accept cookies for the first time right now. Like you got to accept cookies now for StreamYard. The first time I came in, I was in the back, but it was just lagging, bro.
That's for everything.
I left, it came back, and then it was still lagging, and now it's chilling. Now we're
it was asking me to accept.
There you go.
Frigging cookies too. That was weird.
Every website's asking that shit now. You know?
Well, I mean, it's like, an election year getting closer and closer to November. So I'm actually surprised that they haven't been clamping down even more. So, they've been, if anything, they've been dragging their heels, I would say. But, it's funny because, you're talking about politics. Tonight's movie is a political movie. The thing about the Spaghettis is they made, of course, 1 billion of them. Right, because that was the Italian way of making movies. It's like they were quick to hop onto a trend, and there were periods where you had booms where it's like all they were making were peplums, and then suddenly it was the Spaghettis, and then it was the crime movies, and then horror came back, and, and they just make 1 billion of those. So with the Spaghettis, you get a lot of subgenres. So you've got like the horror Spaghettis, right, which we've covered on the stream. You get the circus Spaghettis. You get the Twilight Spaghettis, right? The movies like Keoma in California that were made like right at the end of that trend. And they have this elegiac quality to them, right? Where, there's a sense that when they were making those movies, like, yeah, this is the end of this particular subgenre. And so there's like a little bit of a bittersweet nature to them. El Mercenario is a political spaghetti. The political spaghettis were movies like this. They were usually about the Mexican Revolution, but they were dealing with issues that were very hot and topical in Italy at the time, and just in Europe in general. I think I mentioned before that Sergio Corbucci, I always thought that he was like an arch conservative or something, because he has this habit of putting hippies in his Westerns. And the hippies are always scumbags, right? And so I thought like, oh, he must have really hated the hippies because he was like really right wing. No, he hated the hippies because they were complacent and insincere in his opinion. He was like, they were throwing flowers. I was like, no, throw fucking dynamite. But it's like politics and saying that something is political these days, or saying a work of art is political, is kind of like immediately gets like a visceral reaction because we're used to the way that politics are done in movies today, right? Where the focus is on the message, the focus is on the politics. Now, this movie is pure escapist entertainment. It's action-packed. It moves at a lightning pace. It's funny. It's full of humor. Right? It's everything that modern movies aren't. That's because, of course, back in the olden days, you had the politics that were sort of like the subtext, right? Yeah. Where nowadays the politics are at the front, so they're putting like the cart in front of the horse. Corbucci's movies, were they always political? No. When the spaghettis dried up, he was making mostly comedies, including some for my boys Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Movies like Super Snooper, aka Super Fuzz.
Yes,
really like fun, goofy movies. But in his spaghettis, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of politics. Some of the other political spaghettis, The Price of Power, that's kind of about the Kennedy assassination.
How about Duck You Sucker?
Let's say Duck You Sucker. That one was pretty.
Duck You Sucker, very much so.
Like a lot of them are, dude, because they were coming out of like Mussolini's shit. You know what I mean? So they're gonna kind of, but even a little bit, like some of them are more so. But man, like halfway through this movie, just the hilarity without any profanity, just setting stuff up, just him striking the matches off everybody's face or their teeth, or the one like he's sitting there striking the match off his toe and then lighting his foot on fire, and it was all real, like in camera, and I'm just laughing out loud, like, you know what I mean? Nero is just hilarious in here, dude. I can't believe it, so many funny scenes, like, oh, I'm gonna go sleep with your woman, and he runs through the thing and he opens the door and he lands in the pig's swallow or whatever, or mud, The fight scene was awesome too. Looked like they're really slugging it out. They sold it,
for sure.
Also, he's about to punch him with the live chicken, and he just takes the live chicken out of his hand. Like there's just so much to love about this movie. It's the funniest spaghetti I've seen so far, and this is number 2, right under Django for me. It's for the Nero.
Wow. So you remember when we did Compañeros, right?
Oh yeah.
This is almost the exact same movie. Almost.
Little
right?
A little bit.
Certainly in terms of its structure, the characters, right?
Except without the shitty music, right?
Yeah. The theme, it didn't have that theme though was like
once again, we're talking Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
Right? And Morricone did the scores to all of the Corbucci spaghettis. And of course, they are magnificent. And the score to this is pretty awesome. Also, as in Compañeros, which is, like I said, it's pretty much a remake of this in many respects. You also have not just Franco Nero coming back, but also Jack Palance.
Jack Palance, yeah.
As a villain and a really funky one.
Yeah.
Right? Like a comic villain. Whereas, right, in Compañeros, he's this one-handed guy who's like a pothead. He's always smoking reefer. They pay him in reefers. Remember that? At least partially. They paid him like, oh yeah, here's your weed. And he's just always smoking up and looking stoned. He's like hitting fucking roaches and shit. And in this, he plays a gay bounty hunter named Curly.
He like took his pants. And I was thinking, Curly's gold, man. City Slickers too.
Yeah.
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought I was dead.
I'm Curly's brother. But yeah, like you were referring to before, let's take a little look at the movie scene
here. That's gangster.
Right up to your face and dissed you. Beep.
It's cool seeing him doing his own vocal work in here,
Oh yeah.
It's like seeing Doug Jones doing his own voice on fucking Hellboy 2, instead of whatever his name is, the dude from Frasier.
David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounded perfect. Sounded like the exact same guy, really.
From the cartoons too. Yeah, they sound the same.
Yeah.
Well, like Doug got to do his voice in the cartoons, which was great because, you know, and credit to David Hyde Pierce, he went uncredited on the film because he said Doug Jones is the character, not me.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's all right. That's a gangster move right there.
I will say this: David Hyde Pierce made an amazing possessed preacher.
I heard about that. In a new movie, right? A newer movie.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking sick looking. I was like, get the fuck.
It was with Russell Crowe, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
The
movie was shit. Like, it wasn't a good movie.
It is shit. It is shit, and it's a great premise too, because the premise is that they're making a remake of The Exorcist, right? But they don't use the name, right? But it's obvious what they're making a remake of. And like even the script has, like when they're shooting movies in secret, often the screenplay will be like will have a fake title.
Right.
And for this one, it's the address, right, from like the original movie. It's like, oh, okay, all right. And so it's a movie about Russell Crowe's character, who is very haunted, playing the part of Father Damien. Or was it Father Karras? I think it was the Father Damien is who he's playing, right?
No, isn't wouldn't he be playing Father Marin in that?
I forget. I mean, the movie's a piece of shit, but it
doesn't matter. The movie was horrible.
The concept
it was Zaru in the chat
of that guy, of that actor playing that character and then getting possessed while making the movie is genius. It's just they didn't do anything interesting with it.
See, I'm gonna have to watch clips of the movie because like it got such bad press because the trailer interested me, but then I started reading seeing the reviews people put. I was like, nah, I'm gonna save myself some time on that one.
I gotta see Pope's Exorcist first, and then I'm gonna go watch that one. At least Homeboy's throwing down on some fucking horror, though. I'm happy for him.
No, the Pope's Exorcist was good. Yeah, that was really
good. That's fun. And it doesn't take itself too seriously, you know. Very nice. Like, you know, when you see him driving to the Vatican on like a moped, Faith No More's.
That's a real dude, bro.
We care a lot.
It's a real guy, you know. Like he did most of that shit.
Someone's gotta do it.
Yeah, he did most of that shit like towards the end of his life. It's based on a real guy. He did like 200 exorcisms, like between 50 to 70, I think. He had a very Forrest Gumpy in life, much like our grandfathers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like for something that doesn't really exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got a couple of people in the chat, Brian. We got Grey Wolf and
what's up?
It was Zaru.
Hey, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you.
Pops, what's up, guys?
Smack that like button, spank that subscribe button, click the bell, ring a ding ding dong bell for notifications and all that happy shit.
Ring dong, ring a ding 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 dong, ring the bell now.
I keep the heads ringing.
Yeah, this is actually a collection of clips from the Mercenary, just the moments where Franco, who plays the Polak, Sergio Kowalski, is just going around just dissing people, right, like a G, with striking matches off of
matches, dissing people with his matches.
Shots a minute. I voted for a good cause.
The nipple strike.
Yep.
Like I said when we were talking about it, was like that must be some hard nipples, right?
Yeah, man.
I like that whistle though, dude. I like that whistle though. Like they got the whistle in here instead of the Companeros theme. They got that dun, 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 dun. I can't whistle, but just the melody's dope.
Quick total non sequitur. Actually, it's not that much. Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo was at a party once, and there was this old Italian guy there, and he didn't speak a lick of English, and so he was kind of sitting by himself.
Yeah.
And then Mothersbaugh asked, like, who is that guy? And someone said, oh, that's the guy who whistles in all of the Ennio Morricone spaghetti westerns.
When you say this, I like
figured this. It was like, what? And he went up to the guy, and he was just kind of like, Once Upon a Time in the West, the Mercenary, El Mercenario, and he was like, yes.
Whistling.
And so what happened at the
Starts
party
whistling all the tunes.
was an impromptu concert where the guy started playing his guitar and was just whistling these Ennio Morricone songs.
That's like some proto John Carpenter touring shit right there, bro.
Awesome. Yeah, boy.
That's fucking dope.
Yep. Yeah, boy.
When you said it, Brian, I just pictured him chilling there with like all in the dark, you know what I mean, with like a light right on him. He's sitting there with his legs crossed, smoking, like about to whistle.
Yeah.
He just whistles one little thing, and someone turns around with their drink. They see.
I never considered there'd be like the same guy whistling throughout all these tunes.
Yeah, he was like the guy. Yeah.
Let's make a Western about him, the whistler, like where he whistles all the tunes. Maybe like he whistles all the tunes from all the spaghetti westerns. And it's like a modern Western though, and he just like
that would actually be kind of cool. I'd watch that.
Cool.
Yeah,
he like takes fools out like he's a hitman. He takes them out, but he's a cowboy, and he takes them out before.
He could come in like Charles Bronson in Once Upon a Time in the West, but instead of his harmonica, he just starts like whistling his intro in.
Yeah, no, he whistles every intro from every like spaghetti Western that he did.
Dude, that harmonica,
right before he kills him, that was epic.
That shit was cool, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. That got me out of nowhere though.
Right. My own personal favorite, the one that always grabs me by the heart, is the store from it's and for a roof, a sky full of stars.
I haven't seen that one.
Opening
check it out.
to that, and the music is heartbreaking. Heartbreakingly beautiful. That would yeah. I remember hearing it once when I was walking down the street in New York City and somebody had their window open and they were playing it, and I was just like,
and you started climbing up the pipe and climbing up the fire.
Is it a chick? Is it a chick?
And you stick your head in the window and there's a pie right there, and you're like, and then they smack you and you fall down the. I don't know.
She's cute. She likes horror movies and spaghetti westerns and swords and comic books and shit.
Oh man.
It never gets
old. He's such an asshole in this.
And it comes full circle too, right? I forgot all about this.
Yeah.
Full circle, brother. He's a fucking asshole in here, man.
Yeah,
like, so well written. Probably his best movie. Like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch all of his shit. So far, like it's the character's way more interesting in here than in Django, but I just like Django more. It's more metal, you know what I mean? But dude, this fool is a fucking hilarious asshole, man.
And of course, as you mentioned, it's Franco Nero doing his own dubbing, because Franco, unlike a lot of other Italian actors, learned English.
Yeah.
And so, of course, he had this thick accent. So he would say to Corbucci, "Well, why don't I play somebody from another country, right? We're talking about a land full of immigrants." Yeah. So there were like, we're talking about like, not everybody's like walking around talking like John Wayne, right? It was like a world, a land full of accents. Yeah. So why can't I be a Polish guy? Why can't I be a Swede?
Yeah, Swede. Right? It's like almost like Scandinavian. He could, but you could hear the Italian in there. Hey,
look, it's worked for Sean Connery his whole career except for The Hunt for Red October.
Right. Then the producer was like, "How about you earn a paycheck and do what I fucking tell you to?"
Yeah, like Schwarzenegger.
The kind that I can touch and see. That's the only way I'd be interested.
I'm gonna start doing that to people.
He's just doing it to let people know that he has like
so I can do that to people.
Respect for them.
He punched in my nose.
I know, right? But
the
that's
twist
the thing
is
that's so great about Franco Nero is that he's got that mad crazy charisma and charm, so that you enjoy the character. You don't just like immediately hate him for the piece of shit that he really is.
That new, what is it? John Kesey, that Hellboy actor. Yeah. He's a Marine, right? And like hockey player, all this shit. And he just like rolls his own cigarettes and puts the cigarette out on his tongue and swallows it.
Manly.
So he like got the role.
Manly.
That's one of the reasons.
That's shit right there.
He's lighting his foot on fire.
All right, now I've got this head canon now that like he doesn't actually smoke or like smoking. He just doesn't, so he can light matches off of people.
No, totally, man.
Right,
That's like the thing, bro.
Because that would be an ultra Chad asshole move right there.
That would be like
Yeah,
what you would do to
Yeah,
get YouTube like vids, like subs. You know, you just go around like with a cowboy hat and just light cigarettes on matches.
Just to be a dick.
I like it when he does it on that guy's tooth, man. That was my favorite one, probably. The tooth light.
He wants to see this
Right
too.
here.
He wants to see this one.
Hey, what?
Right in the middle of his head.
Right up to your face and dissed you. Fucking
Yeah, this
Chad,
movie's
man.
fucking gold, man. This is this
so
one's up
much
there, bro.
fun.
This one's up there with just the fun, you know.
I love it because it's so audacious that nobody ever reacts to him like you would think. Like if somebody like touched you inappropriately, you'd just like smack him or something. But everyone's like, did that dude just do that shit to me?
Exactly.
Did that just happen? Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
It's so like fucking. It was so random.
Right. Like that guy half an hour later is going to be thinking, I should have punched that motherfucker in the nose. I should have gutted him with a machete. But it's just like, he just does it so fast that they're just
so mad, right?
What?
We've all had those moments where I should have done this or I should have said that.
Of course. Yeah. And he's going around through Mexico just giving people those moments.
What I like about this too is he's got everything fucking planned out. Like pretty much 85% of the whole story, he's got it all.
Yeah, it's very Yojimbo that way. He's kind of rocking that Yojimbo vibe. I've got you all just eating out of the palm of my hand.
Yup. Very
like
much
this right here, ketchup and mustard right there, baby.
Yeah.
A little bit of Deadpool Wolverine.
We are a art-centric, comic-centric stream, so one of the things I always got to do is take a look at the poster art and also fan art, if there's ever any fan art out there for the movie that we're covering. Now, of course, the Spaghetti Western posters, those were always just amazing, right? They were beautiful paintings.
Well, it's not just the Spaghetti Westerns. I really miss the movie posters of yesteryear. Like you see it every now and again.
Yeah.
But like, man, all those beautiful painted posters that we used to get for
beautiful.
like every movie.
Every movie.
But it's so much cheaper just to manipulate photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it in a cubicle, 5 minutes, boom.
Run it through an AI fucking, you know.
I really like how Stephen King made a point of that, or maybe Frank Darabont. I don't know who was responsible for that particular line, but they did that in The Mist, and I was like watching Thomas Jane actually paint the gunslinger in the Dark Tower. I was like, yes!
I miss Thomas Jane, man. That fool needs to do a little comeback.
Yeah, man. For sure.
I think
who was
the producer of who owns Star Wars?
If you have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime, go watch The Expanse. Thomas Jane is in about half that series, and he's really freaking good, as he always is.
I've heard nothing but great things about that show.
It's amazing.
The guy who came up with Star Wars. God, George Lucas. So anyway, George Lucas was one of the last holdouts of doing art centric like movie posters. As far as
and stuff.
Yeah, he kept every Struzan poster that Struzan did for him as far as Star Wars, right?
Yeah, dude.
And once he sold Star Wars to Disney, that was the last time you ever had a Struzan poster.
Because he had beautifully rendered painted posters for the prequels as well.
The last two that I've seen by Struzan that I know of, that I could think of off the top of my head, was Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army. But, you know, and for me, like, if I'm ever, like, lucky enough to do a cover for a comic book, Struzan's always the default thing, and Death Dealer. It's like, Death Dealer, no, you don't go there. And then,
I'm not a huge fan of Struzan. I'm not taking anything away from him.
Yeah.
I just think he was way too
That's a good
realistic,
graphic.
you know?
Yeah.
On his, but then
the
you
layout.
gotta figure, like everything that he does, that he was doing that before they had Photoshop, and he was doing it all by hand, dude.
That's what I'm talking.
The
concept and the composition of him.
Now, if you want to see some fun pre-Photoshop, just really extreme abstract photography art, look up Man Ray. That guy did some amazing stuff.
I love this right here. I love this painting right here, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, I wish I could paint like that.
James Hurley, what's up, James? He says Thomas Jane is in an upcoming
Shane Black movie
with
Mark Wahlberg. That's pretty basic.
Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane's like one of my favorite actors.
He's pretty dope.
For sure.
Have you guys seen Stander with him, where he's like a bank robber in South
Africa?
Africa?
It's an awesome movie.
I remember that one.
People sleeping on that, man.
First thing I ever saw him in was Deep Blue Sea, and as soon as I saw this, okay, whoever this guy is, I'm following him from now on.
First thing
Thomas Jane, the only reason he's been in a bad movie is because of writing. It's never been because of the acting.
There are plenty of great actors that are in terrible movies.
Yeah, I mean, like Ron Perlman. I'll see Ron Perlman slumming it, for a paycheck, but he always gives 100%.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken, he had that period in his career where he was just doing nothing but like direct-to-video movies, and he was always amazing in them. And evidently, he would take the parts if the characters were interesting.
That's what I would do.
I respect actors who don't just kind of like phone it in. I was like, okay, if you signed on for the part, be a professional and give it your all.
Yeah, don't be like
I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Like Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was a paycheck guy.
Yeah, well, he was never a proper actor, though. It's not like somebody like.
Oh, how dare you!
The best example, of course, the one I always give, Brando, right? You look at the movies that he made in the last 20 years of his career, he was just showing up.
The Owl of Dr. Monroe.
I like that movie a lot, but it's like
I thought it was good, but it was kind of goofy on a rewatch.
The last 10, 15 years of Willis's career, he knew he was sick. He knew he had a limited amount of time, and he was just trying to stack up as much money for his family as he could.
I was always wondering why he had that weird, like, emotional look on his face, like in a lot of the newer movies, where he's just like,
it's been known that Willis has always been a paycheck guy. Like he just shows up, does his thing, and he has no passion for that. That's what anybody who's worked with.
I don't know, but he still turns out a great friggin' performance.
I have more respect for someone like that than somebody like a De Niro or a Brando, where it's like they've just had so much smoke blown up their ass about how great they are that they're like, oh, well, I'm done now. I don't have to try.
I was never really a De Niro fan. I mean, I liked him in what was that one with him and Al Pacino?
Goodfellas?
No, it was where Al Pacino was a cop and De Niro was a gangster. Heat. Yeah.
I like De Niro. It's just he's fucking turned into a little bitch.
He is a bitch.
But
he's just a clown.
I'm sorry, man. I like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
My problem with
he had no interest in that character.
Brando's obviously a phenomenal actor, but
amazing.
The friggin' thing that his big problem is, like, he hated doing scripts. Like, he would just ad lib like all the time. And it would drive everybody else fucking crazy, and everybody
memorize for shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He just wouldn't do it, and so
selfish.
everybody else is having to work around him. And
right.
Bullshit. You
refuse to do
treat the rest of your cast members like that.
But isn't that the thing with actors? Like, they were saying that about Michael J. Fox. Like, when he made it, like, he would show up on set and just rewrite the script.
Like, maybe because of Parkinson's or something, he was like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. This is going to be hard. I got Parkinson's.
Yeah.
He's like moving around like a snake the whole movie. Like
if I can do this, can I get electrocuted at some point?
You do have to watch out with that with certain people when they get, so big. Because, like, one of the reasons they didn't call, what's his name back in, Edward Norton to play the Hulk again for the MCU. Because he kind of took over the production. He was doing rewrites because he's like writer director too. It's like he's like, oh, I'm gonna make this. Instead, like, look, you signed on to be an actor, dude. Be the actor. If you want to make a movie, you want to be the director, producer, writer, whatever, then go do your own thing again. But, like, do the job that you were hired to do.
Exactly.
That's kind of a shame too, because Edward Norton was a good Hulk. Like, he was the closest thing you would get to Bill Bixby.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite movie Hulk, and, like.
Me too.
But, he's a pain in the ass to work with, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, notoriously. I know people that work on movie sets in New York City, that do lighting, right? And those are the people that really know, like, what people are actually like,
right?
Because
are we going to get to the famous Bale? We're gonna get to the famous Christian Bale, like, hollering at the lighting guy, and, like,
no.
Okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say it's just because, like, I've mentioned it now. So, like, we're talking about, you're talking about the lighting. So here's Christian Bale. He just reams out. He stops whole production. He reams out the lighting guy because he can see.
Fucking professional.
Well, here's the thing. He can see him walking, right? He's like, I'm distracting me. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm not over here knocking over your fucking lights and shit. It's like, Christian, I've watched a number of your movies, man. Have you ever worked outside on a busy street? Oh, yes, you have. And what's happening on the busy streets? There are people walking by. There are cars going by. There's all sorts of noises and distractions. And yet somehow you can focus on the street. But you're in a fucking set and one guy catches your eye and you flip out. Fuck you, Christian Bale. That was unprofessional.
Yeah. And the thing about, and we talk about this frequently on this.
I do too.
Terminator Salvation.
Everybody knows about that. Everybody knows that story. But on the Italian sets, everybody was equal, right? And so you wouldn't get away with shit like that at all.
Yeah, you get punched,
right?
Because smack you in the head.
The star of the film, the director, the producer, and the grip were like this, right? Everybody was equal. And they would get together, they wouldn't have catering. They'd get together and would cook for lunch.
Nice.
And, famously, Henry Fonda, when he asked Eli Wallach, he was just like, go, take it. And it was like, you don't even need to read the script. He's like, go, you'll have the most fun you ever had making a movie. So they were having fun making these films. Mm-hmm. And, you didn't have a lot of British theater people are in a lot of TV movies, TV shows and movies these days, because also in the British theater world, that's the same thing, right? They have the exact same attitude. And so if you throw a hissy fit or you're a prima donna, everybody's going to be looking down on you and nobody's going to want to work with you because you're just being a dick.
I can't wait till I'm famous and I could be a dick to all you.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I'm like, Matt, shut the fuck up.
Get off my set.
Shine these fucking shoes, motherfucker.
Get on my set. Ruining my character.
You're breathing my air. You're breathing my air. God damn it.
What's that character Tom Cruise played? Les Grossman.
Oh my God.
From Tropic Thunder. You can totally be Les Grossman all the time.
Dude, that is my favorite fucking movie. All my favorite movies cannot be made nowadays. You notice that? Like,
no way.
Hey, you, the grip over there. Punch that director in his fucking face really hard.
Especially not with.
I mean, you had
and the gorilla arms.
Blackface.
Yeah, you got like gorilla arms.
G5
makeup and everything. It's just hilarious.
Big dick energy, player.
Yeah, man, hysterical. Hysterical.
When he told me, he was like, "You people always." He's like, "What you mean, you people?"
I was watching some. I was watching some clips of Les Grossman again. It came across my YouTube feed. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get into this." And it's funny because Tom Cruise doesn't change his voice.
No,
but he was so different from any Tom Cruise I'd ever seen that I didn't realize it was Tom Cruise the whole movie until the credits came off. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Because clearly there's prosthetic makeup on his head and his face, but then they gave him like these gorilla
big
arms.
Hands. He requested that. He wanted
these big hairy gorilla arms.
You know what's funny? You say that as I was thinking about Tom Cruise the other day. You know what movie I want to see a sequel to, or like two more of?
Yeah.
Fucking Legend.
Yeah.
Fucking Legend. And you don't have to have some Curry in there, but bring in some new demons and orcs and monsters and shit, bro.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I love
you don't even need Tom Cruise.
Old ass fucking linked out, fucking Zelda'd out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zelda he is. He's linked. That's the closest Zelda movie you're gonna get.
The way they fucked up with Legend was, well, for one thing, the production of that movie was famous because it was shot on the 007 soundstage, which is the largest soundstage in the world. They built that forest, right? And it burned to the ground, right? Mm-hmm. So, but they had already, I think, shot pretty much everything that they needed. I read it. I was looking forward to it because I was like, oh my God, Ridley Scott is a god, right? He had done The Duelist, which is really good. Then he'd done Alien, which was killer. Then he did Blade Runner, instant classic also. And so Legend was up next. And I couldn't wait to like read the first reviews. And the first reviews that I read were in Cinefantastique magazine, which was basically the French version of like Starlog or Fangoria or something like that, right? And the review was euphoric. It was like, this is an amazing movie. This is, oh, it's so good. And the Jerry Goldsmith score is incredible. And then they released it here, minus 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And
there's also the musical
score,
too. So
and I love the Tangerine Dream score, but like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Right? Because in Europe, it was a smash hit because in Europe,
musical, right?
There's a tradition of fairies and dwarves and otherworldly creatures. We don't
Is
have
there a version of Legend where that 30 minutes was put back in?
That's the musical
soundtrack and everything.
That's the musical, right?
On the shelf over there.
I don't want to see the musical. I mean, with the movie, like the movie itself.
No, it's not a musical. I'm saying they changed the music was one of the things that they
changed.
There's cut a half an hour out, and then they took Jerry Goldsmith's score, which is terrific, took that out and replaced it with an electronic score by Tangerine Dream, which is very good, but was still fucking with the movie and not as good.
Doesn't the other version have singing like parts in it? Like
it does. It does. Okay.
So it's kind of a musical.
But it's not a musical, you know.
I swore like because I have it, you know.
And it looks like he was
talking about it being
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's going to be the demon this time in the new Legend. What?
To be honest with you, though, I like the Tangerine Dream one. I like their shit more than Jerry Goldsmith's. I don't know. It's darker, dude. And they did it like in like 2 seconds too. I think they had like a weekend to do it. And it's just perfect for me.
I love it. But the original unmolested European version of that movie is undoubtedly better than the American version.
We got
robbed. And I remember going to see it in the theater and being like, I feel like I just watched the trailer for a great movie. You know what I'm saying? That happens.
Well, I didn't know any better until, you know, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that one again and see all the shit that they cut out.
Oh, dude.
It just depends. I remember they did cut out a lot of shit, but I still like that OG one. And
I mean, I've got the 2-disc. I got the two disc set, right?
Me too. Dude, I want 2 more. That's what Tom Cruise should be doing, man. I guarantee you if he did 1 more of those movies and they did it good and they get Ridley back and Ridley, go smoke some dope, fucking come back. You know what I mean?
That Ridley Scott don't live here no more.
No.
Go smoke some dope or something and come back.
He's like Dario Argento, dude. It's over. It's over.
It's never over.
It's never over. I'll give him another chance because I'm on.
Stop.
Well, I'm on that. I
asked you. You didn't ask me.
Over Rambo.
You sent me over there to win, and you wouldn't let me win. And come back here. There's nothing.
I like Covenant and Prometheus. I'm on that Prometheus train.
Dude, I love Prometheus.
Most people are on the Prometheus train. I'm on
the Prometheus train because David is the most fascinating villain I've seen in years of cinema.
Very good.
I mean, wow. What
most people hate that shit. And
I love it, dude. I think he's a fuck. If you hate the villain, you're doing a good job. Yes. They have done their job. If you fucking hate that villain,
now Gladiator
Prometheus, and this is also the fault of the audience because you see the trailer for Prometheus. There's no alien xenomorph anywhere, so I don't know what the fuck audiences were expecting.
Right.
You know? And he was doing something new. This was cool. Yeah. This was new. Let's see where this goes. But now what are we getting? I mean, I'm looking forward to Alien Romulus because I like the xenomorph. I'm so fascinated by it. Good. But then, all this cool stuff that he was building up to got thrown out the window because people didn't understand the movie. They're expecting aliens just because it's set in the alien universe. That's true. It's a big fucking universe. Let's see some more.
Out of the Blomkamp movie too.
I think the movie wasn't called Aliens. It's called Prometheus.
Go figure.
Exactly.
But that Blomkamp movie would have been sick, dude. He was doing a bunch. He spent like 10 years on that fucking movie.
Oh man, the concept
never got made. Like Romulus looks dope. 50 is dope with his Evil Dead remake. But sorry, dog. I would have rather have had Neil Blomkamp. His fucking District 9.
Yes.
That movie was
Amazing.
on another level, dude.
Unfortunately, he's
I
never
don't like
been able to
District
make
9. I
anywhere
never
near
thought it
as
was
good.
that good.
I love that shit.
I did like I Come in
Yes,
Peace.
I love that movie.
That
Oh
was
man,
a great
that's
movie, dude.
I like Hardcore
Save
Henry
Dark
also. That
Angel.
movie was the shit, dude.
Hardcore Henry. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was dope.
Dude, intergalactic drug dealers. You can't beat intergalactic drug
You
dealers.
go in pieces.
That thing was huge too. Whoever played
Yeah,
that.
Matthias Hughes. He's like
Matthias
one of those
Hughes, like,
guys that
he,
you see in a
huge,
lot of like
dude.
martial
Oh, and
arts.
Elysium was dope too. I
Yeah,
like
I was about to
Elysium.
say, okay, you've like Brian's seen all the movies I've seen, like, because like you'll see Matthias Hughes in a lot of these like late '80s, early '90s martial arts films.
Dark
Like,
Angel.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
guy
yeah. He
can
does not know
fight, man.
martial arts. It's really
You're talking about
obvious.
Dark Angel, yeah, with Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
big
I just
dude,
watched
but
that like
he
a week
can
ago.
move, man. He knows how to fight.
Shit, son.
Who, Matthias Hughes knows how to fight?
Yeah.
Does he really?
That's say he knows how to fight. Like, he's a big guy, but like he moves extremely well. Like, he knows how to fight. He's got the skills.
Okay. All right,
The
real
eye
quick,
is
we're going
high.
to take a look at the trailer for El Mercenario, aka a professional gun, aka the Mercenary.
Nice shot. Love
Yeah,
that set.
fantastic. Very Leone-esque, of course.
I don't know if that's set, but
He sells death to the highest bidder. He'll sell your life for what he thinks it's worth. He is the mercenary.
that Mercenary.
Alberto Grimaldi, by the way, same guy that produced the Leone movies.
If you're not ready to buy,
Yeah.
be ready to die.
This doing a drive-by, man.
I know. I was like, dude, this was doing a drive-by.
Total non sequitur. The first recorded drive-by was actually by a Chinese cat. Evidently, he was like in
a Tommy gun in.
American version of a triad.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
decided that he was going to roll up on some fools and fill them full of lead. And so he took one of these early automobiles, because this was in the Old West, which is to say, like,
So he's driving by in a Model T.
up to like 1920.
Big
He
trouble.
armored the thing. He armored the
Kills and he's got to get out and wind the car back.
He armored the thing, right? He put like actual fucking like steel plates on it, and then rode by him, and just
Damn.
just lit,
Oh,
lit
full
up
like
his,
he went full like comic book
adversaries.
vigilante fucking shit with his car.
Now there's
The mercenary. He aims for the money. His gun does the rest. Franco Nero. Tony Musante. Jack Palance. Giovanna Ralli.
Musante, in my opinion, he's great in this, but he's not as good as Thomas Millian is in Compañeros.
No, that one's more. No, you're right. Well, he's in that one more. He's in there more too. This one he kind of pops up here and there. You know.
Yeah,
you know what I love is like everybody else he strikes a match off of looks like what the fuck, but like the chick when he does her nipple, she's like, she's
well,
into
Franco,
it.
that's why.
S&M.
He's a G.
The sun at his back, a gun at his side, a town at his mercy.
Yeah.
Town, fucking
Wow.
country, basically blows up Mexico.
Yeah, he goes to Mexico.
Goes to Mexico and blows it the
Down.
fuck up.
I thought he just laughed his ass off. He's like, just
Oh
dumping.
yeah, cackling. Yeah.
Like that first
That was one of the things I remembered most about this movie when I saw it on TV as a kid. And then
He's
once
a
again,
sick fuck.
Morricone and Bruno Nicolai, he was the guy that you got when you couldn't get Morricone. Morricone was writing the scores at this point, but he wasn't conducting them, right? So he wasn't conducting the orchestras. So he would write it, and then Bruno Nicolai would do his thing. Corbucci, United Artists, of course, the production company created by Charlie Chaplin.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't know Chaplin made that.
Yeah, it is. So Matt, what did you think of the Mercenary?
I thought it was fucking awesome, dude. It was like one of the best spaghetti westerns I've ever seen. It was hilarious.
Right?
Laugh out loud funny. I can't remember the last time I was laughing that much in a long time. I didn't expect to laugh that much in a fucking a Corbucci spaghetti western.
Yeah.
It was action packed too. Just laughing and all the just seeing the how maniacal Nero is like from the get when he's just dumping the gun out, and then you get a little bit of this guy right here, Jack Palance, throughout. He's not too funny, but no, it's all Nero, man. He's him and his buddy. Paco, yeah, Paco, and then Paco just keeps fucking him over, and he keeps needing him. He keeps needing him, like, and it's like the whole scene up until the one I was just describing where he's dumping. He's like, okay, that's going to be $200 to assemble the weapon, and he's like, okay, cool, thank you. Let me get that. What the fuck? How you? He's like, it's going to be another $200 to actually fire the weapon. It's not even
like, right? You didn't pay me to shoot to fire it.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, he's just such an asshole.
So cool and calculated and hilarious and an asshole.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
that whole
Yojimbo
vibe, man.
It's a fresh breath,
But like Yojimbo, or the character is called Senjuro actually in Yojimbo, like Senjuro, like the man with no name, fistful of dollars. Of course, the guy's heart softens through the course of the film, and he starts to identify with the revolutionaries.
Like when he buys all the meat, he buys all that smoked ham and all that shit. He goes into that little butcher place or whatever, a little general store, buys all the food for him. He knew they were coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he was like, I figured he's kind of like Batman in here, where he's got these little contingencies, like what ifs going on all the time.
Yeah.
He's going to do this, he's going to do that, or he's going to do that for each situation.
Thinking 3 moves ahead.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
love it. And this one is definitely a fucking standout in the whole genre of the spaghetti west. I'll tell you that right now.
It's great, isn't it?
This one and there's a lot of them. Like they're not all the same, but some of them do stick out. Like in God Said to Cain, that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Django, that's a big one.
Sabata. It's like you said. This movie's got so much humor in it, but it doesn't slip into farce like Terrence Hill and Bud would do.
It's like I know assholes like that, and I know assholes like that existed.
What's
that
one Terrence Hill did with Henry Fonda?
My Name is Nobody.
Yeah, My Name is Nobody. Where it's serious enough, but it's also got a nice balance of humor to it.
Yes. Where it doesn't fall into satire. Now, a lot of people were saying that the Trinity movies killed the spaghetti western. I disagree.
I love it.
It was already on its way out at that point.
At that point, and I loved it. I only saw the first one, I think. My Name is Trinity, and I love that movie too. I really like that one a lot. And for me, that was it was very parody, and it was very parody. It was like a comic movie for me. It was very cartoony. It was like watching a cartoon come to life, and that was cool.
Oh, purposely slow. I mean, especially that great scene where he's basically slapboxing that guy who keeps trying to draw on him to the point where the dude breaks the fourth wall and looks out at the audience like, what is going on?
And the fights, I like the fights in there, like just beating ass, I love it when they have the good old fight scenes in here, with the punches, and
he's got one of the all-time greatest character intros ever in a film where you see this riderless horse, and then you find out it's pulling this little thing behind the dude's just sleeping, letting this horse go where the hell ever.
Dude, I was telling Brian Preston that one of the Spawn Gunslinger covers they do that. They have Gunslinger Spawn. It's a variant for My Name is Trinity. And
nice.
The horse is pulling. Awesome. I'm like, that's fucking dope. I wanted to buy it just because the cover. It's the first time I actually just wanted to buy a comic for cover, like in recent history.
James says that the
Gran
Neil Blomkamp's last movie, Gran Turismo, was decent. I didn't know that was a Neil Blomkamp.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought that was Clint Eastwood.
Huh.
Gangster.
Have to check that out.
I think of Gran Torino.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Gran Turismo. Oh, Gran Turismo. That's right. Yeah, that's a video game. Yeah, I heard that was pretty good. It's got like Orlando Bloom and David Harbour in it. Yeah, but I mean, I liked Elysium with Matt Damon. I thought that was dope too. I thought
that's
that was
okay.
really cool.
That's all right. The thing with Blomkamp is I like Chappie, for instance.
Chappie was pretty cool.
Chappie was awesome.
He does make worlds. He does make worlds, Brian.
Right.
I'll give him that.
Right. It's just that he hasn't been able to match District 9. That movie is just such.
That movie needs a sequel. That movie needs 2 more movies. It does need that. That's one of those ones that got away from us. I think.
Because like we even have the setup for a sequel in that film. And I kept hoping they would come back to it someday.
Yes, he says, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm gonna come back for you.
I want to see Sholto come back with that big gun arm and the fucking. He's like half alien. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that was dope, bro. So cool. I gotta watch that again, man. Because I watched it like 5 times when it came out. I bought it and I watched it like 2 more times.
What's crazy is like, and Brian, let's see if you can confirm. I heard that all of Charlton's dialogue in that film was just him ad-libbing. Is that true?
What?
I don't think all of it was. I think some of it was because it was based on a short.
So it's based on a short,
right?
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the movie, like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because I saw the short on YouTube.
Right. It's like because it's like a mockumentary, right? It's like, oh yeah, they're like these alien refugees, and there's nothing like they're not treated like anything exotic. They're just treated like human refuse.
Yeah,
basically.
Right.
Instead, they're alien refuse, and
they're
like a ghetto.
They're treated like refugees in a fairly hostile country.
Yes.
And
it's a brilliant movie.
And that's one of the
that
things I love about that's one of the things I love about about Blomkamp is he created Oat Studio to basically do what he'd done previously, to make a bunch of shorts as proof of concepts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And man, his shorts are as good as anything being put out by Hollywood.
Didn't they have something to do with Dread or something?
You can watch those on Netflix too. They're not hard to find.
He had something to do with Dread, didn't he? The first Dread movie? I could have swore he did, but I don't know. I think that was like a Kiwi or South African production.
Okay. That was Alex Garland, actually. A lot of people say that Alex Garland actually directed that.
That second Dread movie, though, that's the one movie everybody wants more than anything.
Is the publisher, right? Producer.
The who? What?
Adi Shakur is the producer, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
2 points way up on this fucking movie, though, man. Hard recommend.
Yeah, Preston, did you get a kick out of this?
No, I couldn't hold my attention.
Okay.
It was all right. It was all right in the beginning, and Jack Palance was good. I was like, that's the only reason why I stuck with it.
Not enough people getting fucking bucked down for your liking.
I think Once Upon a Time in the West kind of ruined me on anything below that level.
Right.
I'm saying, because that was so good. Like I was stuck on that from the beginning, and I was like, nah.
So you went in, because this has happened to me before with spaghettis, where I go in and I'm expecting something different and I don't get it.
Not consciously, but I think when I went in, I was like, I never went in thinking like, I hope this is as good as Once Upon a Time in the West. Right. When I started watching, I was like, yeah, but this ain't as good as Once Upon a Time in the West.
That movie.
You want to know why? Because nothing is. That's why. Because nothing is.
I haven't seen anything like Once Upon a Time. Me
neither.
Honestly, whether you like it or hate it. Yeah.
Yes. Next to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and any Clint Eastwood movie. But it can compete with any of those. You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like one of those is any better. It's just that it's all on the same.
Yeah, it's clearly one of the all-time greats for sure. But it's okay to have dissenting opinions. That's cool. Like if we all just thought the same thing, we'd just be a big fat echo chamber here.
I say that all the time. But you should, Preston. You should give this one another chance.
I will. I'll give it another shot.
When you're in the mood.
Yeah.
For something that's just like fast and fun.
I didn't expect it to be so funny. I mean, I didn't expect any comedy to come out of really any spaghetti western, And the comedy is not. There's no like profanity or anything like
It's
that.
usually pretty grim.
It's been a while before I could laugh at something that wasn't, dick and fart humor, because that's all we've been getting spoon fed lately.
Yeah,
like
man.
Deadpool,
yeah, man.
and fucking who else is it? Who else was it before him? I don't know. Seth Rogen. He was real big for a while.
There's
all the comedy we
basically kind of there's like a generation of filmmakers who have been ruined by Joss Whedon and Kevin Smith. They've taken the wrong lessons from those two.
Yeah, I think so too. But this is a pretty funny video. This is the Franco Nero kill count.
Oh, for the movie. I like how the horses just fall down, It was a good stunt right
there. Put them in ditches. He's just yocking it up. Oh, that's great. We're in the double digits now.
Mowing him down.
And of course, like all of these movies, just beautifully shot.
Forget about that Jesus parade that they had. They had the girl dressed up as Jesus.
Yeah.
The three wise men.
Yep.
Forgot about that part.
When Franco gets that machine gun, man,
And somehow he is not burning all the skin off his hand holding that barrel.
Yep. And he's not hitting any of those sheep, too. He's just fucking taking those out.
It's not hitting either.
Full body count, 53.
That was like some Frank Castle. That was like some Frank Castle shit right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think Punisher Warzone. I think he took out 33 dudes like in the first 20 minutes of the movie in that whole like mafioso scene.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think
like 33.
I think the highest kill count in one of the John Wick films is slightly over 120.
Damn.
They average between 80 and 100 people killed.
Right. So pretty much
I used to do this
genocide.
kind of thing for fun. If I'd known that years later, like there'd be a thing called YouTube, and I could actually make a living just counting how many people get off in the film.
I know, it's great. It's so cool.
I gotta see John Wick 4, man. Fuck, I still haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude,
it's great.
Fuck.
Those movies, like I didn't like the first one. I love the sequels.
John Wick's one of those things where you can't watch them back to back. Because then at some point it's like watching Die Hard back to back. At some point, realize, Jesus, I'm watching the same movie over and over.
I absolutely watched 3 of those movies back to back, and that's only because 4 wasn't out yet. I was like telling my wife, "You gotta watch these films. You gotta watch these films," and we just binged them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the first one and not being impressed with it, and I thought it was okay.
I remember when I saw it, like there was we had.
are.
It was
lit.
a mirage. It was an oasis when it came out for me. As far as like action movies, we haven't got shit for such a long time.
It'd been a while.
My jaw dropped because it had all these, it had all these boxes that need to get checked. You know what I mean? And it went above and beyond that for me, as far because we didn't have anything in like mainstream in a while, dude.
Right.
Like, so I was just like, oh my god, like it had gunfights and crazy gun shit, and he's doing gun fu and fucking. He's having a little wrestling match, and
it was like the 90s jacked up on steroids.
Yeah, dude. And he was just quiet.
You know what I mean? Like John Woo style shit.
Yeah, it was like, great. Like you said, like the gung fu mixed with the jujitsu, that was pretty sweet to see, like grappling and gunplay, like these tight quarters.
That's another movie we watched.
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium, like the other night, and I was like,
God,
so good. Yeah, I put it up there with The Matrix. Like,
and what's great about Equilibrium is, having studied martial arts for a long time, I watched that film and I go like, I know that you can't do this in real life, but damn, they make it look plausible.
I know, right?
Yes. Well, Kurt Wimmer, the director, there's footage of him doing this. He created gun kata in his backyard. That was him just fooling around with fake guns and just striking all these different martial arts poses and stances with the guns. Of course, inspired by like the John Woo movies, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine some white dude going to the ghetto and being like, "Let's do this"?
Well, what I love about the gun kata too is that it's all based on mathematics.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
That if you kick in the door. There's like 7 guys in there. Here are the odds of where they're going to be standing.
Statistically, this is like we've broken down, we've analyzed, we put the algorithm or the AI.
Right, but he can do it in his
basically you're telling me.
Yeah, but
the grammaton clerics can do that shit in their head.
Sherlock Holmes in his head.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, even in martial arts, when you're fighting, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
And it's fine because you just shrug it off. The problem with gun kata, if you get it.
With gun kata, you absolutely need like them John Wick bulletproof suits.
Right, but that's the thing. He doesn't fight. He doesn't fight somebody else that knows gun kata until the very end of the film.
Well, even if you're fighting somebody with martial arts that doesn't know martial arts, you're still going to get hit. I'm saying.
I'll say not necessarily. I've seen some dudes who are pretty untouchable.
I got to ask you guys a question.
Yes.
If you were going to put your 4-year-old kid into any form of martial arts, what would it be?
Jiu-jitsu.
What about you, Brian?
Well, I mean, I would.
Because you guys got me like second guessing stuff, you know.
But I'd be inclined.
Look, here's the deal. I put my kid in karate. And they were belting him up like.
That's what I'm saying.
Once a month, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, wait a minute.
I don't want that for my boy, you know.
Well, jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You get with a good. I'm not talking about any, because there's some where, I mean, I went to one and they were like, yeah, dude, he was like,
give me the money or beat you up or whatever.
My buddy decided he was going to go to a jiu-jitsu class, right? And he was like, hey, I like this one. You should come along since you used to, do it. I was like, all right, cool. So I go over there, and they got this like 18-year-old kid up there to show everybody how to do an arm bar, right? And it took him like 5 minutes to do the whole process. And I'm like, don't listen to that kid. It's like, if you listen to that kid, you're gonna get your ass kicked, dude. I was like, when you put an arm bar, you snap into it, or you get hurt. And my buddy's like, yeah, but this isn't real life. I was like, yeah, but people come here thinking that they can use this in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you're looking for something practical, would be the way to go. But
like if you put them into a class, make sure people are getting hurt in that class. Like they actually take advantage.
I'm going to buck the trend. There's a significant flaw with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is great for one-on-one, but you can't count on fighting one-on-one, because if you get mobbed, the last place you want to be is on the ground.
Right.
Well, let me make a correction to that. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, don't put them into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class. Do traditional. Traditional is equal stand-up and equal ground. You see what I'm saying?
Remember, 4-year-old or 5-year-old.
Start off with boxing.
I didn't know that.
Boxing, you can learn to defend yourself really fast.
That's true.
And then learn some jiu-jitsu afterwards.
But he's actually right. Or high school wrestling. Nah, and this is high school wrestling.
That's a martial art.
The only problem with high school wrestling, I had to fight a bunch of them when I was doing jiu-jitsu. those guys' sense of balance and their lower body strength is incredible, dude. Like,
the wrestlers, yeah.
But I will say this: the flaw with that is that they're always giving up their back because they're taught to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when I was in college, I was doing Hapkido at the time, and Hapkido's got a good mix of like grappling and striking and kicking and all that stuff. So like it's a little, before then this was before MMA became a big thing. Yeah. So this was an art that covered a lot of bases, and one of the guys on the wrestling team wanted to try me out, and so he didn't tell me like we were doing any sort of rules. It's like, okay, let's like wrestle. So when you say wrestle, I'm thinking of grappling, right? And so I started putting him to like wrist locks and arm bars and stuff like. No, you're doing it wrong, because I was kicking his ass. But then when he made me play by his rules, I didn't know how to collegiate wrestle, and he just totally annihilated me. Right. And man, what those guys can do with their chin as another point of contact and pain compliance is pretty impressive. That shit hurts.
I'll tell you this: like, if you want your kid to survive on the streets, I do 3 types of fighting styles. First off, put him in boxing, because boxing's going to give him his wind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it'll teach him how to keep his guard up and like really strike, right? Yeah.
Conditioning.
And that'll keep him from smoking too, because smoking's like the worst possible thing you can do if you're going to be a fighter. Second thing, go straight to traditional jiu-jitsu after that, right? Because boxing's going to give him a good sense of balance, and fucking strike, and it's going to
balance,
make him quick,
timing, rhythm, conditioning.
Exactly. And he's going to be a holy terror when he gets into that jiu-jitsu ring.
How do you guys feel about judo? How do you guys feel about judo? Do you have any?
I don't like judo. Judo's more of a game. You know what I'm saying? That you.
Well, here's when he tried it. He said he was kicking much ass when he was judo.
Find somebody who's doing not competitive style judo, because that's the same thing that happened when the Gracies started off making their version of jiu-jitsu. It was really strong, but after it got super popular, it became a sport. As soon as it became a sport, it started losing steam. Just like Okinawan karate. Okinawan karate, people will kill you with Okinawan karate.
Yep. What about Jeet Kune Do?
About selling those belts, it became much weaker.
Another thing, Matt, just because they have Gracie Jiu-Jitsu on its own doesn't mean that they're practicing Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It's a franchise. Oh, yeah. They buy their way in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've heard. Muay Thai is a good one, because they learn to fight with their knees and shit like that.
Dude, them leg kicks.
Dude, devastating, dude. You're talking about broken jaws, spitting out molars.
What about Bruce Lee's style? Was it Jeet Kune Do, right?
Jeet Kune Do.
Are you guys down with that? Or
I don't know enough about it.
That was what they were going to try to put me in. Like, I did it for like 3 weeks, and I was like, fuck this. And the guy's name was Dojo. It was Dojo Dolby. And he bought it off Chuck Norris, and it was in California.
See, that's the problem, though. Like, unless you experience it from yourself, like you don't know. Like, you could be putting him in something that's not going to help him at all. He gets into a fight and he gets killed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you about Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do has become what Bruce Lee never intended it to. Bruce Lee wanted Jeet Kune Do to become a personal fighting system, not a broad fighting system. So I have taken elements of Jeet Kune Do because I really like the trapping. I like being able to like poxal somebody's arm down and then come across with an elbow and then catch you behind the head with my hand to drive you into my knee. So I take concepts from things. So I take the Jeet Kune Do mentality and apply it to whatever martial art I happen to be studying at the time.
I will say this, like when I was studying and I was doing traditional, right? And the sensei was teaching us all that kind of like disarming people with a knife, where the kill points are, stuff like that. But even he said, he was like, dude, he was like, I'm showing you all this, but if somebody actually comes at you with a knife, first thing you want to do is try to find a way out. You know what I'm saying? This is the last resort.
Yeah.
He was like, and if you do end up, he's like, if you do end up hurting somebody, fucking get the fuck out of there as soon as you're done, dude. Don't stick around.
No, hit it and quit it.
Yeah, I saw some dudes like talking about like one guy was like I think he was a judo guy, and he said like he got into an altercation, and they're used to throwing down each other pretty hard, and he dumped the dude on his head on the concrete, and he's like, oh shit, I'm going to jail.
That's what my
grandpa said, like get the fuck out of there. Don't take credit.
My grandpa was an undefeated boxer in the special forces, But then when he got out and became a cop, he studied judo, and he used that a lot. Yeah, I use that all the time. He said,
well, that's because they
come at me and I just fucking flip them, and they fly through the wall.
I mean, that's
one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen on YouTube in terms of like martial arts was a demonstration of judo by this old
yes,
right?
Yeah,
this old man and
this gorilla,
a young one, and the young guy's grabbing the old man, and he's just like yanking on him, and he's like, "You're going." And the old man's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." Right? He finally he gets his feet off the ground, but keeps going back down, and then finally the younger fighter manages to fucking flip him, and the old man is like, "Okay, well now I'm going, but
I'm gonna lean into it, or
but I'm going my way." And
lean into it.
And he fucking, so he does like this, he flips him, and the guy fucking turns in the air and lands right on his feet. And it's like, sup?
It's all about physics and stuff. And it reminds me of the shit that happened with you, where you rolled over that car and landed on your feet. You know,
that was crazy.
A lot of using people's momentum against them is what judo.
A lot of martial arts teach that though. Like even like when I was doing traditional, like they were like we were flipping people. You know, I mean, one dude had his arm dislocated. You know, because he was flipped so many times because he was the muse. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the guy that the sensei's like, "You're the guy I'm using tonight." You know, and he was. But the deal is that I think a lot of them teach that. It's just like one thing my sensei told me when I was studying. He said anybody that knows enough about any particular fighting style can hurt you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they can. Now, whether but he was a stunt. He was like, "Nah, I'm not." He's like, "I'm not in judo but I think he was talking about like competition judo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of that shit they do, like over at these competitions where they're trying to get medals and all that stuff. Yeah, that's not going to work on the street, dude.
Yeah,
straight. Like, if they're teaching you to go straight to technique, they're teaching you to get your ass kicked, is what they're teaching you. Because most fights start out like this. You know what I'm saying? And
however,
none of them start out where you giving in your hand or anything like that. You know, or you just got somebody and they're hit. You know, most fights start out right here, and it ends with some like me. Like whenever I get in a fight with somebody, the first thing I do is step on their fucking foot. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're like trying to jerk away, but they can't because I got the foot. And then and that gives me a moment to get in. You know?
Yeah, it's smart.
Because that was like one of my favorite first moves. Like I got to where I could throw my foot right on top of yours without looking down.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. I just stomp their fucking foot and immediately fucks them up because they don't know.
Right, because they're not thinking and they're in your face and they're
my stepdad. His thing.
Angry, they're not thinking.
My stepdad, he's dead now. He died of cancer, but his thing was like, and he loved the fight. But whenever he got into a fight, he'd get right in your fucking face and drop straight down to his knees and hit you in the nuts. That's what I'm saying. Nobody expects that shit.
No.
And there's a thing called the Shellman handshake, right? Where I used to live at. And it's like if somebody's tapping you on the shoulder, never turn around.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what's coming, huh?
You get punched in the mouth.
The great thing about that foot trap is you can be nice about it or you can be cruel with it. If you foot trap somebody and shove them, they're going to fall down. If you foot trap somebody and shove them and don't take the pressure off your foot, you break their ankle. They're done.
This goes pop. Yeah.
Well, it's not even about that. It's about the surprise. Because once they're surprised, their guard's down, dude. Yeah. It's fucking open season.
Just like uppercut right there, or hit him in the nose. You know,
if somebody gets right in your face like this, just bam, quick headbutt right to the nose.
Yeah.
Nose.
Yep.
Right.
Be careful though, because you can fuck yourself up like that if you don't hit them right.
You know right spot in the head.
It's so effective. You see like Europeans do it all the time, man. The British love to give you that quick headbutt.
Yeah, they sure do. I've noticed that.
They're used to having broken noses too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can do at that point. Once you have your like, there's another guy I knew like in class, and his thing was to throw his hands up in your face like that. I thought that was a stupid move because then your guard's down. You know what I'm saying? It worked for him. You know?
Right.
Oh, Matt, if you want to see somebody,
is that all the different martial arts systems, to a large degree, are for different body types. Yeah. Like I remember talking to this guy Royce, back in Rockland when I lived there, and he is a Kali Eskrima a teacher,
Filipino martial arts, yeah,
right, Kali, and he knew Deno Santo and all that shit. Nice. And I was like, "What martial art do you think I should study?" And he was just looked me up and down. He was like, "Kung Fu." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah. Hungar specifically." He was like, "For your particular build." And I was just like, "Oh shit, that's that's the shit that Sammo Hung did." So I was like, "Oh, so like that's a martial art that's good for big guys."
Fun fact: Adrian Paul from Highlander as well.
Yes. I found it really interesting watching the DVDs because I'm just nerdy like that. I was a massive sword nerd. And so when that series came out on DVD, I bought the DVDs, and then I was like watching some of the commentaries. It was like, "Oh yeah, you see that guy that I'm grabbing here that I'm gonna fuck up? Yeah, that's my martial arts instructor. Yeah, I could not do that to him. Yes." He said, if I tried to do that to him in real life, he would hurt me.
Oh, Matt, if you want to see
I just jumped in here for a minute because Preston, you say your uncle does the drop to the knee.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
He died of cancer.
That's not the finisher, though. That's the setup. Then when they do this, when they bend over because you got them in the nuts, you come from the ground with that knee and you drive it right into their fucking nose. Yeah. That's the finisher. So,
I've seen a dude get knocked out with a knee to the face. That was pretty nasty.
People die from the knee to the face.
Even if they get their hands away, their head comes down. And when their head comes down, you go straight to the face with the knee.
Yeah, dude. I mean, most of the shit's like biker tactics too. Like, because bikers never, some of those motherfuckers had nails in their shoes because they'll kick you. And,
So, Matt, if you want to see some good combative Jeet Kune Do, somebody who's like part of that lineage, look up on YouTube Paul Vunak. That guy's a beast.
Nice. I'll check it out. Paul Vunak.
Yeah, Paul
Vunak. You can shoot me a DM on the Twatters. So
I'll do that.
I'm horrible with names now, dude.
Yeah,
I'd go boxing first, though, dude. Before I even thought about martial arts, I'd go straight to boxing, and put him in high school wrestling too.
Paul teaches like all those Jeet Kune Do concepts, but like he's vicious with them. I mean, like he even gets into stuff like Filipino biting, in wrestling.
That shit's crazy.
Like, all those people like want to do the jiu-jitsu. He's like, oh, you can't bite in a fight. I was like, Paul knows how to bite you in a fight. It'll make you want to let go of it.
Oh, in the street, anything goes, man. That's what
damn right.
Recognize.
The problem is that when you study like Brazilian's mostly ground. So most people think, get in a fight, I just take them to the ground. Then you got their buddies kicking your ass.
That's my thing. Like, I want to keep it away from the ground. Like for me, it's all about boxing and kickboxing and then some other shit. Maybe some
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe do the basics, dude.
That would be my shit. Like because I've always been a boxer and just like a wrestler. That's kind of how in street fighting. That's me.
That's the perfect combo right there. You got your boxing, you got your wrestling, so you got your mid range, your long range, basically. If you got a long arm kind of style, and you're wrestling, you dump somebody on the ground. There's nothing quite like, and I'm a big guy, so I can get away with this a lot more than some of y'all might can. But there's nothing quite as satisfying as just hitting somebody with the earth and listening to them go.
Oh yeah, I've speared a guy, I've body slammed a guy, I've choke slammed a guy. And that's just like regular like WWE wrestling where I've knocked the fuck
I want to put this in your head though. You got to realize this. Like things aren't like when we were kids where it's like you can fight man to man and shit like that. Like these kids nowadays, dude, they're fucking soft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll never hit you man to man. It'll be them and their buddies.
Right. I mean, I've been super duper lucky. I've never been in a fight in my life. I've always managed to get people to back the fuck down. The most I've ever had to do to somebody is pick them up and maybe shake them a little bit, like, and just kind of like put a little fear into them, and then everything was fine. You know, it's I've never. My God, man,
It sucks, bro. It ain't fun.
No.
Like for me, I started getting jumped when I was like 3 or 4, so like I'm used to it. I've been in fights. I haven't been in a fight in a long time.
I don't know, dude. Like, there's something about it because I'll tell you, dude. Like,
I don't mind getting hit.
A few fights.
That's just don't bother me.
I kind
of need to get hit to fucking to unleash the red. You know,
I'll put it this way: like I've formed some really strong bonds with some of my friends that we weren't friends before we got into a fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And afterwards, we were like,
yeah.
my buddy Booger, he was 6'2".
Got great stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now most of us are. I'm guessing all of us or most of us are middle aged, and it's like, you know.
I certainly
am.
Me and Brian's gonna die soon.
Hey Brian, you got a lot of veto stands in your chat, bro.
Top, you know the clock is ticking. What? I got PDF files.
I guess.
I got PDF files.
I guess, dude. They're floating.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Vito declared a fatwa on me.
Oh, did he? Is that why?
Yeah. Well, on Mr. Burgers the other day. And very quickly, he was like looking me up, right? Doing a little Google search and everything. Yeah. What's up, Vito Simps? Suck my dick. I'm sorry. Because then Vito's going to say, oh, well, you told me to suck your dick, so that means that you're gay. So I would ask you to suck a dick.
No, Brian. Ask them if they're hangry and tell them to eat a Dickers.
Dickers. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You can dick.
Oh man.
Look, I don't start shit. I never start shit. That's always been my policy in life.
Me neither, dude.
If somebody starts shit with me, then I will go nose to nose with them. I've been very lucky in real life situations that they've always backed down. Right?
Yeah.
So, but then there's that part of you that wonders, right? And this is one of the things that's in Fight
Club. Part of you always
right?
wonders.
The part of you that always wonders, like, how do I really know what I'm made of unless I've been in a fight? Right?
Well, I mean,
but I've been through so many other like extreme, so many other extreme life events that it's like, okay, well, I know myself now.
Dude, this guy's got a lot of people.
A lot of chumps.
Yeah,
they're
he's got like
deep.
4.
They're rolling deep. I'm not seeing that many.
I mean, I'm seeing them on here. That's a lot of
on the YouTube. Oh, hey,
balls to gargle. Like I didn't know that could be that many.
Vito Sims, do me a favor, smash that like.
I mean, I thought that was only like a dong and some balls, but I mean, I don't. What the fuck are they gonna do with all that?
When I went to boot camp, my drill sergeant put it like this because he knew he had like 70 guys he was having to deal with. We're all like young and strong and full of adrenaline and full of ourselves. Like we all think we're badasses.
Right.
Until it's like, men, don't try and fight me. Some of you might think you can fight me. You can't. Some of you might really believe you can fight me. I'll tell you what, I'm an old man. I don't like pain anymore. I'll just kill you. It's like that put an end to any thoughts of like fighting the drill sergeant right there.
Yeah, I mean, you get to
because this is a guy who's seen some shit. Yeah. We hadn't killed anybody. This dude had.
He's just over it. He's just like, I'm just gonna snap your neck.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna snap your.
Well, I mean, like real martial artists will tell you, it's like that's one of the things that fascinated me watching a documentary about Okinawan martial arts.
Exactly.
How it's designed to. It's like with Aikido. It's like it's martial art of peace, right? It doesn't have any
gentle way
offensive moves, right? It's just about dropping idiots on their asses until they give up trying to hurt you, right? And with Okinawan karate, it's designed to maim you or kill you. It's designed to be a martial art that is so hideous and horrible that you will only ever use it if you absolutely need to. And if you absolutely need to, you're going to kill a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's why they
very, very badly. Where
like part of the things they teach you in that, because I've known some people who studied like traditional karate is like, there's no wasted motion. And they teach you to drive through. They want to end the fight with one shot. It's full commitment.
Yeah, you take it all the way to the nose, and you just put it all. You wind it back, and you throw it all in your foot. And then you engage, and you launch that fucking fist into that fucking nose until it explodes. And then you come back. Coming back is just like fucking the main thing too, man. You got to come back quick. You know what I mean?
Dude, a punch in the nose is brutal.
Got to come back quick and land that second one.
It's not a pleasant. It's not a pleasant feeling. It's not a
pleasant experience.
On the side of the head, I can deal with. Nose, no.
Yeah, that's a good reason to keep your guard up.
Yeah, your nose hurts like crazy. You immediately start tearing up, and they hit it bad enough, like blood is.
You go blind for a second.
Throat. Ugh, it sucks.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I'm thinking, what should we watch next week? Next week, of course, is Horror Movie Club. So I know that last time we did Possession, which was a pretty extreme.
How about Phantasm?
Oh, I think we did that one already.
Oh, have you guys done that one?
Okay.
Which one?
I would love to do Phantasm 2, but I don't think Phantasm 2 is on any of the free streaming channels. But
I'm gonna check out Tubi's real quick.
Because it's always changing. And the other thing too is you'd be surprised at like the shit that people are uploading to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
People are uploading like the latest like 4K or 2K rips of like Blu-rays of like old like cult horror movies and shit like that, and they'll be up there for a while. Eventually they get taken down, right? But I guess they don't get taken down right away because it's not something that's owned by like Sony or Disney.
Yeah, you've got a better chance of uploading something old than something current. They're looking for the current a lot, but the algorithm doesn't catch the old things for a while.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie, Sweetheart?
Which one?
Sweetheart?
No, I never seen it.
You never seen that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Netflix.
Dude, that shit was good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the sea creature that comes out. Yeah, it's like a creature from the Black Lagoon for the modern day.
Oh, dude, what a great reveal of the creature, too. Where, like, she shoots.
Dude, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah. And the flare lights up the creature in the surf. You're like, what?
Yeah, dude, the thing's like 9 feet tall, dude. It's fucking, it's
looking it up right now.
And it comes from a hole in the middle of the sea floor.
What country is this from? Is this a Korean movie?
No, it's a U.S. movie.
Yeah, it's a Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is awesome.
I've seen that.
How about have you done Galaxy of Terror? That's a
we did do Galaxy of Terror. We did do Galaxy of Terror, and you know what? That's one of our highest rated streams.
Yeah,
like, that's got like thousands and thousands of views for some reason.
Galaxy of Terror.
I love that movie. I love that movie. Let me check Tubi really quick and see if they have any new shit.
I still got to finish that fucking new subspecies movie.
Don't expect that to be
new one.
Great.
Oh, I haven't seen a new subspecies in a long
barely
time.
Like I got to go back and watch it again. But
I was such a huge fan of Charles Band and Full Moon in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
I love all the fucking little subgenres they got on Tubi, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
Me too, actually.
Dude, now they've got like Italian horror listed. I'm looking, right? It's like faith, family series, foreign films, heist films, horror, and under horror it says Italian horror and giallo.
Yeah, it's not just horror anymore. You know,
it's got its own subcategory.
My bizarre, like, it's the strangest thing. It's just like whatever it is that I'm into.
Yeah, I see that.
It's like
right
you get shamed. I get shamed for it, right? And then it blows up, right? Like I was into wrestling, and then kids were always making fun of me for being into wrestling. Like, oh, you like to watch that fake crap? And then Rocky 3 came out, and all the kids were suddenly into wrestling, and they'd come up to me and want to talk to me about wrestling, and I would just look at them and go, I don't watch that fake crap. Right? Old punk rock songs that I thought like, oh yeah, like so you had told me that like, yeah, that would be on a sneaker commercial or some shit like that. I would have laughed in your face, and there it is now.
Hey, have you guys seen Haunt? Any guys?
No,
I don't think.
Wait, is this the one with the? Is this the one with the clown?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
Yes. Haunt's fun. Haunt's a good.
It's a new one,
scary movie,
but it was
well done.
And Eli Roth like produced it.
Oh,
but it was a good, like, for me, it's in the genre of fucking haunted maze genre. Like, you know how, like, you go to these haunted mazes at, like, Knott's Berry Farm, fucking, you know, Magic Mountain, and then they have them, like, all over the place now. They have them all over LA now, you know? But I think it's the best haunted maze genre movie I've seen, and I've been recommending it. It's a fucking slasher, and it's a good movie. It's on Tubi right now. I've been waiting for it to come on Tubi.
Okay.
And it was on Hulu for a while. It's new. It's a new movie. But,
that's fine.
Okay, this isn't the same haunt I've seen, because the one I've seen is from like the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s.
Okay, this is from 2019.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, different film.
So I'll throw that one out there just because I see it up there, and
yeah,
it's a newer movie. I know we don't do those too much, but
I
think it's a good newer, like, kind of mainstream horror movie, but it's fucking good. I know Eli Roth did it, but the characters in there, I don't want to say the monsters, but yeah, the slashers. It's just like spoiling too much. It's cool, dude. It's very innovative. So,
by the way, I just realized we forgot to talk about Jack Palance's buttocks. So there's a scene in this movie, right, where he is forced, the character Curly is forced, the gay bounty hunter is forced to strip butt naked and walk off into the wilderness, right? And I absolutely agree with Alex Cox. He said that this scene does not work. And he says the reason it doesn't work is because Jack Palance was too much raw dude and too much of a fucking Chad.
He's just a badass dude.
Because the character here is supposed to be humiliated, right?
Yeah, no, it's like,
and
dude,
he's
walking
out with his fucking cock out and gives zero.
Dude, this fucker, dude, he was doing like one-handed push-ups like in his 70s or some
what
shit.
What a fucking stud!
It's fucking
badass. What a fucking stud!
I mean, like, even that, like, look at his posture. Like, go back to the shot of his ass.
Okay, yeah.
All right, look at his posture. Does that
look
like a man
exactly
who's humiliated? That is not a man
he's got a shoulder Scott.
or humiliated.
No, that's him going like, oh fuck, like am I gonna really do this? Am I gonna get fucking butt naked for this scene? And then he's like, yeah, fuck it. And then so he fucking owns it and just fucking rocks out with his
that character is walking off into the woods with his head held high.
Dignity. Yeah. I would have loved to see him and fucking Burt Reynolds do like a Native American, like.
I heard in that scene with Jack Palance walking off into the woods, like they had to actually tape his cock to his belly.
It was just
so because it was hanging so far down.
He had like an arm.
Yeah, he had to hold it back.
Looked like he was giving birth. There was a baby arm hanging.
Fucking
I don't know. I don't put any faith.
I didn't know that was the new Eli Roth joint. One second, Bracey. The new Eli Roth joint is fucking Borderlands. I've heard that's getting like disastrous reviews.
Yeah, everybody's talking head on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
want to
see
say it.
myself because I don't put any stake in Rotten Tomatoes. They've been a sellout for a very long time.
Yeah, fuck them all.
I trust the audience score way more than the reviewer scores.
Oh, of course. Always.
So if I see a movie I like that looks cool, I don't even listen to my homie. I want to listen to Brian or Preston. I'm gonna go watch it myself.
The thing is, critics say you have
go
to
watch it yourself.
Here's the thing. It's
absolutely. Who am I to tell you what you like?
Look what Brian's going to say. I'm going to disagree with Brian. I'm going to disagree. Finish your statement, Brian. I'm going to disagree with this.
Okay. Find a critic who you kind of like vibe with. Like for me, it's Mark.
No,
he's a horror guy.
No,
he's a horror guy, right? That doesn't mean I always agree with him, but also listen to people who are friends of yours or in your social circle.
There's a critic that I trust absolutely, like 100% when it comes to movies.
Who do you trust?
I see him every morning when I look in the mirror.
Yeah, talking about yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. So, but here's the thing.
I guess
Here's what critics are. Here's what critics should be. Consumer reporters. What's the question when somebody tells you that they just saw a new movie? Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's a way of just, and then just seeing what the prevailing opinion is. Because I always find when an audience or critics are split, right? where it's like half of the people love it, half of the people like fucking hate it, it's at least going to be worth watching.
I'll be straight, dude. Like, I don't pay attention to critics at all. I know within the first 5 minutes if I'm gonna like that movie.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about Tubi. It's just like it's like the Gong Show, horror movie Gong Show.
I've got a gigantic list of movies in my queue on the things I like on my Tubi, on my Plex, on my Amazon, my Netflix, right? And like, I'm gonna watch a few movies tonight. 5-10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, done with this. It's not working.
Exactly.
You can kind of tell, right? You can kind of tell, like even production wise.
Yeah, you can.
And there's some that kind of go,
production's the work. Like if the production's.
Oh well, production. All I need is the trailer, because usually the trailer will let you know how much production you've got.
Yeah,
and I can forgive low budget or no budget, because there might be some talented people working on it.
Right.
Like for instance, when I look at the guy who directed the first Blade movie, Stephen Norrington, he took what should have been a piece of shit.
Yeah.
This movie called Death Machine. It's one of the most entertaining.
I love Death Machine.
We did that. We did that.
It's like totally like metal.
Wasn't that dope?
He made that thing so dope. I was like, whatever this guy does, I'm gonna watch.
Yes. I have the same reaction.
But if you watch a trailer and like immediately I hear bad sound, I see bad lighting, I'm watching bad acting, it's like, I don't even have to bother.
Exactly. And Roku's got a bunch of stuff where you go into your Roku and it's got like this badass movie cover or something like that. Yeah. As soon as you get into it, you know somebody did this with their phone.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
you know what's the worst offender? The worst offender in that area, and you'll see this on Tubi. They'll have posters for new movies that look like they were made in the 1970s.
Okay,
and they're doing that because they're trying to trick you to fucking click on that damn movie. But it's like, wait a second. No, I like that because it's not what you've got.
Yeah,
I want the old shit, because the old shit's the dope shit.
About that. As somebody who has actually been a part of no budget filmmaking that got their films distributed. Yeah. When we got like our first film was put on a collection called Beastly Butchers, and then we got distributed. I can't remember the distribution company, but they bought our
feature, or was this a short?
These were features. We were doing features. I did shorts. I wasn't confident enough to do a full feature length thing. I didn't write long form scripts at the time, but my buddy, he would write these features, and like I was acting in them and doing the FX and helping with editing and stuff like that. And, I bought lighting rigs and stuff. So, we tried to add as much production value as we could, but it's pretty obvious to see it's just a bunch of people with no money making films because we love making, horror films or whatever kind of films. Right. And so the distributor buys the film to distribute, and they've got like graphic designers on staff, and they make your cover look really, really cool. But so what they do is they try and find the best shots they can in your film, the most cinematic looking shots, and they'll put that on the back to trick people into watching your film and being disappointed.
It's super shifty. It's super shifty. But about back to like what we were talking about, like being able to tell whether a movie is going to be good or not within like the first 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. The one genre you have to watch out for is giallo, because those movies can be so skillfully crafted that you can be about 50 minutes into the movie where you suddenly realize that like they don't know their ending. They're basically just making it up as they're going along. It'll just suck you in, and just like, and then you'll be like, "Fuck! I could have watched something else. Like, there's only 20 minutes left in this. I might as well just."
Well, that's because so many of those guys, their aesthetic is like they're about the style, not the narrative.
Yes.
And you're so captivated
as substance.
Yes.
Right, but the way they're doing it, it's just style, with no substance. Giallos, be careful with those. Those are like, you're like walking through like a cinematic minefield. It's
the Italian equivalent of Michael Bay. It's all flash, but like no substance underneath.
But there's, this is what's great about the internet now too, right? is that if you're wondering, if you're just interested in a particular subgenre, right? So, you know, and so you can just dive in, or if it's something that's really vast where you need to be careful, you just ask for the top 20 movies. You just put in a Google search and you'll see a general consensus of what the top 20 are. Giallos are scary like that. And then also the films of Jess Franco. Jess Franco, when his movies are great, they are unstoppable. Like, you're on the fucking crazy train, right? And
that's like
lunatic as the fucking conductor.
That's like watching things from Stuart Gordon or Brian Yunza. When those guys are on point, they're on point.
And when they're cooking, right? But the thing is he made like 1,000 movies. He actually has the longest list of film credits in the Internet Movie Database. The guy, he made more movies than any other living human being. It's not even close, right?
That's pretty awesome.
But a lot of it's horror, a lot of it's porn, right? And then there are movies that he did that are both, right? Where there's like where there's like an R-rated version, and then there's the triple X-rated version, right? But when his movies are bad, they're unwatchable. But when they're good, you're just like, who is this freak? Right? It's because you're in the hands of a lunatic, but can be a masterful,
the mad genius.
Yeah, exactly. Where you just realize, okay, this guy's just actively fucking with me right now. Right? And he comes from like a family of geniuses. Like, everybody else is like a university professor or like a scientist or something like that. And he was always known in the family as like, oh yeah, that's like, you know, crazy old Uncle Jess.
I know some
over there that makes these weird movies.
Hey Brian, also another movie I would hard recommend that I wouldn't mind doing is The People Under the Stairs. That was pretty cool.
Haven't seen that in a long time. Let's take
we've
a
never
look.
done that on the show.
Is now the version of Haunt that you were talking about, is that the 2019 version?
Yes.
Or was that okay? All right.
Got a clown on there.
Cannot be ignored.
Because you know, I want to stay open to new shit. There's just so much of it.
Yes, we're doing it.
That was the Headless Horseman laugh from the Ichabod Crane movie, from the Disney movie.
Is this supposed to be scary?
Haunted Maze Horror. The Event Horizon right there.
That looks like the tunnel we had at Ripley's haunted attraction.
Yeah.
I used to work in haunted attractions for about 10 years.
I love that that's a thing, but then I see that there are like these new like haunted houses where it's literally just like a Navy SEAL like torturing you for like waterboarding.
Yeah, no.
Have you heard about this?
Places. That's
no,
just gross.
What?
Oh yeah.
No.
I saw a documentary.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like a version of haunted houses, except it's run by guys who are basically like Navy SEALs, guys who will like grab you, not physically harm you, but subdue you and then like do shit to you. And
they'll put disgusting stuff on you. They'll spit on you. They'll do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Sounds
people
like
pay
hostile.
to get abused. People are paying to get abused.
It's sick. It's sick. Like to me, it's like those motherfuckers are playing with fire because somebody's gonna get hurt. But
somebody's gonna have some PTSD and snap.
Someone else should call Deadpool. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I see. Okay.
I just want to get out of here.
That's a good setup right there.
The movie's solid.
It looks cool.
I remember I had a hard time hunting it down for a while because it wasn't available in a lot of spots. Now it's everywhere.
Nice.
Big budget movie too. It's a tentpole type thing.
Oh,
Came in. Nobody watched it, and it came out. Left.
Do you want to see my face?
Well, you know, like
I think I've seen that movie. Oh, there's that
Probably.
movie.
I had this conversation with my friend Chris. By the way, Chris, if you're listening,
Didn't
much
see
love
that
to you,
movie.
brother.
Probably have.
Like right now, there's such a glut of new horror that we're gonna know what's worth watching 15, 20 years from now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because nobody can watch it all.
Well, like this again, a third time I'm gonna say this. This is part of that haunted maze genre. I think it's the best one.
It's old though, isn't it? Like you said, it's from 2019.
5 years.
That's not old.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, it was good, dude.
I see shit
really
from like 2000, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's new.
Because I saw one called Haunt around 2000, and a clown feature in it, so I thought it was the same thing. But that one had actual like ghosts and spirits and things. People are like locked into an asylum, and there was a
no. This one's more like Saw, I think.
Yeah,
or something like that.
There's like a bad ghost trying to get them, and like a good ghost trying to help them get out. And there was this cool scene where like this dude in this clown suit is in there like, oh, it's just one of our buddies screwing with us. And the next thing you notice, like his mask has changed from being funny to being horrific, and he's floating about 5 inches off the ground. And then his gloves and his shoes come off, and he starts just leaking maggots and like worms all over the place. I was like, yeah, this is cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
I just added that to my watch list. Yeah, this was the one from 2013, I think, that you're talking about.
Yeah, this is badass. This is a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So, shit. I think what was the other one I was thinking of? Malignant. Let me see if there.
Oh, yeah. That movie,
Malignant's on.
That's on another whole fucking level.
Because
did
that
you
was.
see,
He should have got Batman for that movie. He should have just fucking kicked Matt Reeves in his fucking corn.
It's like a Batman audition, really.
Batman. Yeah.
What was the one that came out recently? Did y'all see Barbarian?
Yeah, that was good.
That's
That was
very
good.
good.
I was not expecting much out of that, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
It was not what I was expecting either. With a name like Barbarian.
Yeah.
Right. No, I was expecting Conan to be down there or something.
Exactly. I was like, how is this a Barbarian? I was like, what's going on?
Hey,
Yeah,
Brian,
it's not
have you
kind of
seen
Barbarian.
So another movie is 31. I would put that in the same genre as this. It's Rob Zombie's 31. It's in the
That was
haunted
actually
horror.
pretty good.
That movie's
I've
pretty
heard
good.
that's like one of his better movies.
Yeah, I would recommend that. That's also on Tubi right now, so I recommend that one. It's in the same genre as this of horror.
All right.
Tubi's got a lot of shit.
I will definitely be checking this out.
I actually liked his Lords of Salem quite a bit. It's like he was taking that like that slow burn, that kind of T West kind of pace on things.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ty West sort of abandoned that with Maxine, which is one of the things I love about that. The movie's just fucking full
It's like
throttle.
that's out the window.
Right from the beginning. I mean that's the thing that's awesome. Is like I was in a regular multiplex watching a Ty West movie. Wow, this is kind of freaky. And soon, in October, Terrifier 3 is coming out, and that's almost certainly going to get a theatrical release. So I actually like, how freaky is that going to be, walking into a multiplex to watch Terrifier 3?
And to think, it all started like its humble YouTube beginnings, and now
yes, the indie spirit lives. The indie spirit lives. You know what I mean? And the technology now is at a place where if you have heart and you have talent, you can actually compete.
Oh yeah, dude! I'm gonna make a horror movie before I die. My wife's already on board. She's already got ideas too.
Oh God, it's on my bucket list too, brother. You know that's on my bucket list.
I want to make 3. I'd like to make 3. I already have. I have one. Some of them are.
See, I would love to make
filmable.
I would love look. My ideal life would be doing a movie and a comic, then doing a movie, comic.
Oh yeah. That'd be
right?
cool. Yeah.
That would be the ultimate. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith, I think, did that for a long time. Right, that's the best. That would be the best of both worlds, because I could never give up comics, but I would love to make a movie. First of all, just to see if I could.
That was something I enjoyed quite a bit. Is like the Jay and Silent Bob comics in between the movies, because they tied all the things together.
Right, and he was writing Daredevil, and I mean, his work is a mixed bag, right?
Yeah.
But
depends on whether or not he's. I don't know why you would do this, but like he's writing Batman and he gets stoned off his ass writing Batman. It's like, dude, what an opportunity, and you're gonna blow it. And now you've got scenes in there like Batman pissing himself his first night out, and him and Silver St. Cloud did it 12 times in the night. Like, come on, it's Batman, man. Have a little fucking respect. But then he's writing that great Daredevil piece or the Green Arrow, and he's killing it. But like, you couldn't give that same
he almost
Batman.
I know
he almost didn't turn in the Daredevil script. Like they had to convince him to turn it in because he was second guessing everything. That was one of the first comic books he wrote, I think.
It was
like a mainstream comic company.
And Preston has a little Kevin Smith story, as a matter of fact.
Wait,
Because,
what's that?
believe this or not, Bracey, in the last, what was it? The Jay and Silent Bob. What was the last one that they did? The one in 2001?
Jay and Silent, was it Strikes Back or something like that?
I forget.
That was Strike Back,
But
I can't remember.
the very first name in the end credits, Preston Acevedo.
Bob Strikes Back because like the last.
Well, here's the thing. I was never in the movie. I was supposed to be, but the deal was that Kevin
Oh, were you supposed
Kevin
to be
Smith decided he wasn't paying anybody that was actually going to be on the floor with all their shit, and you were basically going to be there, and if you were lucky, you were going to get snacks, right? And I was like, "What?" I was like, "This motherfucker!" But you got to understand, Kevin Smith was the one back in the day that was saying, "No, everybody should get paid.
Man.
You know, you should. If you're going to be there, you should get paid." But then he's trying to dick everybody out of all this stuff, right?
Yeah, because now he's the man.
I was like, this ain't gonna happen. So we started a big thing, dude. I mean, they called him out on the radio, all kinds of shit like that.
That's
Like
fucking awesome.
Kevin,
No, he
they had
deserves
a
that.
picture of Kevin Smith where he was like, "Hey, I'll just work for snacks," and shit. It was, and then so I got blackballed, and it wasn't just me; it was me and a few other people.
Fuck it.
But
yeah, fuck it.
they forgot to take me out of the credits.
Cool.
So I'm the first name that comes up.
That's so fucking
amazing.
cool.
That's amazing, especially considering that Kevin Smith has become a crybaby shill.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
that was
he
his
has.
best. That was his best movie too.
I was trying to be
That
nice. I was
was
trying
his
to
best
be
movie.
nice, but fuck
Jay and
it.
Silent Bob Strike Back is by far his best movie.
Like that,
But I don't think that's his fault, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if y'all know this. Like Kevin Smith had a massive. It's called the Widowmaker heart attack.
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
Yeah.
Like, look,
Well, the problem is that Kevin Smith is also at that age where his testosterone is in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, I'll
can't
tell you
take
what
the
happened to
shot
him.
because he's got heart problems.
Right.
Here's my take on what happened to him. Could be wrong. I know the heart attack was a very big deal, but you know, as soon as he went Hollywood, he stopped being an indie director. He got some Hollywood shots. You know, I got to work with Bruce Willis and all this, and he married like a super woke Hollywood girl. He just became a big fat fucking pussy after that. He was like sucking everybody's dick to try and be relevant. And he cries at the drop of a hat like a little
Loves
bitch.
every
Well,
movie. Loves
that's
every
possible.
movie.
But I'm telling you, like when it comes to that kind of shit, like when men get that old, their testosterone goes, dude. I mean, and you become
No,
you,
don't tell me
you
this
become
shit.
kind of like a
Don't tell me
woman.
this shit.
You
I'm
know?
not gonna fucking turn into fucking.
I've known, look, dude, if you notice, like men and women, when they get older and they don't get on any type of hormone, because your body stops replacing hormones, right? And when women go through like menopause,
male
like their hormones shut down. And you notice in other countries where they don't have the hormone replacement treatment, women start looking more like men. They start growing hair, like mustaches, and guys start looking more like women. You know what I'm saying? Like we all kind of become this one thing that isn't either. But guys become emotional.
I got a song for Kevin Smith.
I've always been emotional though.
Here's the
So Brian needs a hormone replacement.
I'm a year older than Kevin Smith, and I didn't turn into a little bitch. So, you know.
I just said I got a song for Kevin Smith, but I need a D minor. Doc, can you give me a D minor? You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, Kevin Smith's a bitch. She's a big old bitch. He's a biggest bitch.
Kevin Smith is a bitch in D minor.
Whatever. Yeah, you know, that doesn't surprise me to hear that he's like.
Oh wow, really, James?
Too.
If you want to be in Hollywood nowadays, you better be woke.
Oh, you have to. Yeah. Gotta kiss the ring. You gotta fucking supplicate yourself.
Yeah, not everybody. I mean, like I respect guys like Adam Baldwin, who just never went there.
It was fairly
just the best career because of
actor.
No,
so you're trying to turn this into fucking TikTok now? We're on
like
YouTube. We're on YouTube, not TikTok.
I've seen a whole lot of people spitting on that ring lately. A lot less people kissing that ring lately.
Yeah, fewer and fewer. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, you know what? Like I said, I never bring shit to people, but if people bring shit to me, I will bring it back. Yeah, I'm nobody's bitch.
yeah. On Twitter, man. Brian,
now I have to wonder after saying all this, but like because we don't have the reach of say like a Clownfish TV, I'll be awfully surprised if Kevin Smith starts giving me shit on Twitter like he did them. Don't you talk about my Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, and you know what? That was a situation where I really lost respect for him because
yeah, that's where
I'm not a He-Man Masters of the Universe guy because that was something that came along when I was at the wrong age, right? Yeah. So if somebody approached me and said, "Do you want to do Masters of the Universe?" I'd be like, "Yeah," right? The characters look cool, right? Mm-hmm. You know, the toys always looked cool. But it's not my thing. So what I would do is I would watch those old cartoons.
Do some research.
I would watch those old cartoons. And also I would ask the fans, why do you love this? What is it? What's the essence of it? Right? And also get feedback, right? And it doesn't mean you have to listen to everybody. But if everybody is suddenly telling you the same thing, then you should probably try and go in that direction. Don't go full fan service. By all means, make the best thing that you can make. It would still be my thing, but I would be making it with those people in mind. Exactly. And he did not do that.
I did a Kevin Smith fucking thing. Like, you know, he was hot off the CW directorial fucking episodes.
Got some Kevin Smith autographed comics for sale if anybody wants them. Just hit me up.
Now, for James's comment about he thinks Thomas Jane is far right because he was in a Daily Wire movie, Chris Evans is about as left as he can get, but he played an amazing Captain America. Yes. It's like Thomas Jane's just an actor, dude. Don't judge him because he was in a movie.
Yeah. So but I mean, we're at a point right now where things have gotten so tribal. They've become tribal.
Everything's tribal now, you know.
And that's why it's like you remember disinvest from that tribalism because it's there on purpose. They're using this to turn us against each other.
Absolutely. You remember when Chris Evans was willing to hear both sides? You remember that?
Yeah.
And immediately people fucking attacked him because he was like, maybe we should all listen to each other and maybe come to, you know, some type of understanding. And they were like, "Why don't you shut the fuck up?"
He's got the longest, he's got the longest line in Deadpool. Deadpool. He's got the funniest line in there. I think, you know, he saw the money and, you know, the canceling and he's like, fuck, I got to shut my mouth. You know,
exactly.
A lot of these motherfuckers are just pussies, dude. You know what I mean?
A lot of these guys are pussies. You know. At the same time, I can't blame them if like they just want to stay out of it. Problem is,
I mean, that's fine.
Cavill, right? And
not everybody has the pull that Sylvester Stallone has, right? Or Al Pacino, because those guys are like, I ain't being anything.
Yeah,
I have more respect for guys who stay on the down low.
Every time I get canceled.
Yeah.
Well, I have more respect for the actors who stay on the down low because they know they're surrounded. They know they're outnumbered. It's like, okay, I can't admit that I'm a Christian or a conservative or anything like that. Right. As opposed to the ones who just sell. It's like, I trans the kids, do whatever. Like I'm rah for all that.
Yeah.
You guys
and I'm
know
like, I'm sorry, but I have a moral red line. There's certain moral red lines for me, right? That I can't cross. And if you don't cross, and if your friends can't cross that line, they're going to look at you real funny.
Well, I'll put it this way. It's easier to make change from the inside than from the outside. You know, sometimes you have to go undercover
That's
You guys
do
know what I
shit.
do every
That's
time
why-
I get canceled? Every time I get canceled,
Yeah. There you go.
follow cowboy, baby. Give a
Tequila.
fuck what other people think.
Sammy
man.
Hagar.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that people have been cowed, right? And I get it. I've lost every basically every friend of mine on the left turned into shitlibs, right? Shitlibs are liberals that are all about getting rid of the First Amendment. They don't believe in the First Amendment. They
they have no
absolutely
idea what they're
abhor
giving
it. And if you're not pro censorship, and this is the thing, one of the reasons I was always on the left was we're the anti-censorship people. We believe that we believe in our artistic freedom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have the First Amendment. It's very, very clear. It's very fucking
like that.
specific. Don't fuck.
Yeah,
with
it used to
right?
be.
That was like 90s fucking American
Now-
liberalism. That's not how like the Marxists and the
Now
communists.
they're fucking.
They've
Now
always-
they're
they've always
just like,
been
no, we
anti-
need censorship.
They're
That was-
Nazis in the disguise of
think so.
hippies.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
so
when you
weird
go
how
back
the
to the
people.
Marxists and the communists, they've never been about that, and that they were trying to shoehorn that shit in, and like Brian was saying in the 90s,
I
And it's
call
never
it
they're
been
acting
that way.
like I
It never will
moved.
be that way ever.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
so weird.
acting like I'm the one that moved. I didn't move. They moved.
Well, you're
Yeah, I was like,
They're the ones that gave
you
up on,
woke up, Brian. You woke up, man.
on their principles.
Look, the ground moved underneath us, Brian. They went with the ground. We stayed where we were.
Well, you guys kind of found out like what Marxists and fucking and communists were, and they were trying to create their own little version of that in America in the fucking 80s and 90s when 70s when you guys grew up,
Correctness.
and that's
the
what it
thing.
is. And now it's starting to root its fucking head out again. It was here a long time ago in the beginning through art, in the 30s, and now it
Back
came
in the
back and now it's
long
fucking its
ago.
way. Now
Well-
it's out. It's all over the world, and nothing we can do about it. At the
Yeah,
at
but
the
that's
moment,
also
unless-
part of the fault of that. It has to be placed on capitalism and on capitalists. Because if they weren't fucking up so bad, if they weren't so fucking greedy, these people would not be able to get a toehold. Do you know what I'm saying?
The nature of people
living
is to
conditions,
always be
right?
greedy. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
that's just the way it is.
so far down, man.
But you have to realize, like, these capitalists are also the ones that are providing jobs.
Yeah,
know
you
what
gotta
I'm
be
saying?
capitalist.
Like,
You can't run a commie fucking idealistic thing in like Norway when there's like two people in the whole fucking country, but it doesn't work. In, like, America.
I'm
It
a
doesn't work.
democratic socialist.
It just
absolutely,
doesn't
it doesn't
I'm a
work.
democratic
It
socialist.
works
That's
over
how I
there,
was.
and and a lot of dudes are down with it that are fucking capitalists. Are like, yeah, dude, that shit fucking works over there.
My problem
But
is
it does
this.
not work in America.
Million
Yeah, but
people.
look at Finland,
Three people.
right?
When there's more money going out of the country
China.
and that's going into the country, there's a problem. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
other thing.
And
Our country our
that's where we're
government
at.
gives money away like fucking candy at Halloween, man. What the fuck?
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, one of
There's
the
no
scariest
reason
things-
for it.
One of the scariest things I've ever saw is like I can't remember which doofus in the government it was that said this, but you can see the video going like, oh, the government can never run out of money. We can just print more.
Keep printing it.
And
Oh,
like
yeah, that one guy.
I posted a
Like
picture
BlackRock.
because like
That was Kamala
yeah,
Harris. Kamala Harris said that.
Her buddy, yeah.
It's
I wasn't-
Kamala. You're racist if you say
it
Kamala.
wasn't Kamala
It's
because this was
Kamala.
a dude who I saw saying that, but like I just kind of posted a picture under that
Kamala.
quote of a guy in Weimar, Germany, pushing a barrel full of money out to the store to buy a
Thank
loaf
you.
of bread.
Thank you. But that's the thing. It's like the Weimar Republic. Most people who are into history have a specific period, time, and place that they kind of get fixated on. For me, it's the Weimar Republic, right? Germany, Berlin, between world wars, right? So the Kaiser's been gone, and there's complete lack of faith in the ruling class, and you have this explosion of artistic freedom, right? All these incredible artistic advances and subcultures and just cool shit, right? And then you know that like the Nazis are like right around the corner.
You know,
That's where this
there
is
was
going. But that's where this is going.
the funniest thing I've seen so far
People don't
was
study it. If they
when
knew
Kamala Harris got announced as like the candidate. People were posting memes of Kamala, the Ugandan giant. And people who didn't know wrestling, people who didn't know wrestling was like, that's racist. Yeah. I was like, no, dude, that's Kamala. Why y'all insulting Kamala like that?
Yeah,
here's the thing. So happens that Kamala, the Ugandan giant, I have this under authority, is from Texas.
All I got to say is, you guys know that she used to be with Montel, right?
Yeah,
yep.
that was a side.
I'm just,
Yeah,
hold on,
it's not just she was with Montel, man. She was in a three-way with Montel.
I didn't bring it up so y'all could steal
that other bitch with him,
Let me say what I'm going to say.
Montel was like, got Kamala on one arm and the other chick on the other arm.
He's trying to make a point.
God damn, man. I say something and everybody just hijacks it. Let me say what I'm saying. Please.
You got to fight in here, man. It's a blood sport.
Jeez, man.
The floor is
all right.
yours.
You had 3 seconds. You didn't say anything. Fuck you. Get it out, Pops. Get it out. When you've got the moment, get it out.
The guy just killed me. You just killed me.
But you know, well, look. I mean, she's a mush mouth. It's just, and that cackle. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was like in 2016.
When your campaign thing is, you got to be woke. Just be woke, more woke than the other person.
Well, it's like in 2016.
He's a fucking idiot.
Which is when this woke shit started, really in earnest, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I have people like friends going like, "Oh, so like, you know, who you voting for?" I'm like, "I'm not voting for either of these motherfuckers." "Oh, so you're voting for Trump?" No, I said I'm not voting for either of these motherfuckers. Well, that's the same thing as voting for Trump.
Well, I will say this: our campaigns were doing way better when Trump was in office than when he wasn't.
Fuck yeah! Look, he's a motherfucking Molotov cocktail. And the thing is, like you said, Brian, it's all fucking, it's all wrestling, brother. It's like you got the fucking
the only people that understand.
They're all a bunch of scumbags, you know. I'm a fucking conservative, you know what I mean? And so to a certain degree, and the thing is, it's like I'll vote for Trump, dude. I voted for him.
I can't call myself a
liberal.
I'll vote for
him again. You could be. Yeah, I guess you could be, but it's like
no
one to represent the way you think right now, dude.
I mean,
you gotta go
I don't know who these motherfuckers are.
I will say, look, check it out, dude. When you associate yourself with a brand, liberal, Democrat, you adopt everything that they believe in.
Right? Yeah, you do.
You might as well just like why do you have to? Why do you have to pick a brand? Why do you have to pick a side?
It's a Coke or Pepsi. They're both poisoning you.
Yeah.
They're not your friends. These motherfuckers are not your friends, okay?
No.
And but they'd be like, "Oh, so you're not voting for Hillary Clinton?" And they'd be like, "No." Like,
you got to be fucking insane to.
She's a woman.
It's just Trump. When he says he's gonna do it, 90%
fucking does it.
He fucking does it. And
I've
experienced it, so I'm gonna fucking vote for him. And I know a lot of East Coasters don't like him because of fucking, you know, like
the shit he says. Dude, I don't care about the shit he says.
Fuck that motherfucker, man. I'm not. But here's the thing: I am not going to say that you are literally Hitler.
Right?
Because, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to like go back. Oh, that's it. I can't hang out with fucking Matt.
Well, I mean, you could, but
I'm Hitler though. Like I understand how he's Hitler. Like he's not.
I'm not a fucking lunatic. It's fucking wrestling.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of these people who are like,
I'm more of a Hollywood Hogan guy. Matt. He's more of like a classical red and yellow Hulkster kind of a guy. I can't hang out with him anymore.
Right. No, I mean, you have your reasons,
That's
dude.
literally
you know?
what it is.
You know,
it's
I have my reasons.
It's
you have yours.
retarded.
Like, for me, I don't like paying a lot for gas. I don't like paying a lot for groceries.
That's right. I like having a campaign that does better than $10,000.
Yeah, it is popular. I'm having a fight to get in there.
We're still trying to figure this new landscape out. The old landscape, like fucking CG, fucking gone as far as I'm concerned. Right? It's new CG now. Right?
Oh, CG.
I haven't flown the hashtag years.
Yeah. Right? It's been dead for a long time. You know,
we have to figure our own shit
out.
About
a year or two.
We have to do.
All right, so check it out.
Like, everybody's afraid to trust each other.
Hang on.
I don't. Well, I mean,
hang on. Whoa, time out. Pops is ready to speak.
So check it out. I said something about Montel, and everybody went. Blah, 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 blah. All I wanted to say was, dude's big mad. He could have been first bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
God
Thank you.
damn.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
That was worth it. That was worth it.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Hey, your buddy
that
Vito's
was so
watching
worth
right
it.
now, dude. In the
Oh,
flesh.
Vito,
Yeah,
the
the actual
PDF.
Vito. I don't know if it's the Vito.
Well, dude,
There's a
you're
bunch of
coming
them.
in late, brother. You're coming in late. We were just about to wrap up. We've been going for how long? We've been going for? This has been a long one. This
2
is
hours.
No, I meant like we need to hang out more.
Oh.
So next week, I guess we'll watch Haunt, or do you think we should watch something else?
I don't give a fuck. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
I would just
we'll
put that out
figure it
there.
out. You know,
People
and
Under the
I'll
Stairs
drop
is
that
a
shit.
classic. People love that fucking movie. I love People Under the Stairs. It's fucking awesome. What up, Sim?
Yeah, anything you guys want to watch
Sim!
is cool with me.
Seems way late. Way
Yeah.
late.
So I don't know, man.
Good to see you,
but
brother.
I thought Haunt was a cool movie. A cool slasher, like maze movie.
Sim is putting out some like great posts on his Natverse on the Twitter.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I've been sharing those. He is fucking psyched. The books, I believe, have arrived. That moment when you get those boxes, you open the door and you see those boxes piled up is so awesome. But what's really the shit is when you pack that shit up. I mean, we're gonna have RJ probably fulfill for me on this one, right? Because hail RJ.
RJ's blowing up, dude. Fuck,
He's blowing
RJ,
up
dude.
big, man. He's blowing up
fucking
big.
RJ, fuck.
I know. I feel so happy. I feel so happy for that dude. I really do, because he was in a bad place just like 2 years ago, right?
Lost his job.
That's right.
Lost his home,
RJ.
lost
Up
everything.
Critical blast up there in the corner. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I got that magnet on my refrigerator, yo.
One of our sponsors, one of our friends. Love that dude.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something, since I haven't had that experience yet. Like, when you get the comics, do they have that fresh off the printer kind of ink smell to them? They
Yeah, they have a different. I've got
they have an odor.
Books,
they have an
and,
aroma. I'm
they
glad
all smell different.
It's always nice to talk to a fellow book sniffer. I always found that fun.
Falling down. Oh,
favorite movie by Joel Schumacher, James?
You say Lost Boys. I say
DC
Falling Down.
Cab?
Lost
DC
Boys for
Cab,
me.
I suppose. No, I would say the Lost Boys.
See, I told you, Lost Boys. Falling Down.
Falling Down's amazing.
That's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. That
But I also really like
Joker and King of Comedy movies.
Just he should have stayed away from fucking Batman. He did not understand that character at all.
What's that other one I like so much with Kiefer Sutherland?
Mirrors.
Dark City.
No,
I like me some Mirrors. That movie was dope. Awesome horror movie.
No, it's Joel Schumacher.
Flatliners.
Flatliners.
Yep, Flatliners.
Yeah, Flatliners was good.
Oh, I couldn't stand that movie. I was so mad when I
wasn't
saw
really
that.
into it too much. I never got into Flatliners.
I was
I'm gonna
really
have to go back
mad.
and give
I
it.
saw it in the theater and was just like, "Oh, you mother!"
Oh no, I guess that's
Ryan
just
was mad, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, just
Oh,
fucking
here's one.
fuck.
Brian Crew. What's a movie that's not considered a horror movie but is scary as fuck? I would say 8mm.
He's talking about. Well, he's talking about. He was saying a Nicolas Cage movie specifically, right?
No.
I didn't know what.
Just a non-horror movie is what he's talking about. Films
I
that
knew,
aren't
and he has
specifically in the genre, but they're horrific. I think The Road is a really good one.
That one's good. Yeah.
I think
Fucking
that The Coffee Table, which I recently saw, that's a horrifying film. Remember, I was talking about it on the horror stream, and I was just like, I don't know if I can recommend this movie. Like, I'm glad I watched it, but it fucked me up, and I never want to watch it again.
Okay.
Do you know what movie fucked me up? It was an animated movie.
Yeah.
It was the one where the two old people. It's an old one. It's the one where the two old people were getting ready for a nuclear explosion.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really
the end of that movie fucked me up, dude, because they crawl in a hole and die.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Seen that.
Yeah. That's
And also the Plague
I'm
Dogs.
gonna go with a couple of sci-fi.
Oh, the Plague Dogs I can't handle, man.
I'm gonna go with a couple of sci-fi movies. I really liked Westworld. That was scary.
Yes,
for me.
yes.
And
Precursor
also,
to the Terminator.
And also Demon Seed.
Yes, I watched.
That was my nickname as a kid.
Last year, after not having seen that in the longest time, and it's fucking great. Like, it's really a great science fiction horror film. But that's the thing about horror. It's the vodka of genres. It mixes well with almost anything. But especially goes great with heroic fantasy and with science fiction. For some reason, right? It's like, you know, we're talking about like Robert E. Howard. It's just like there's a lot of horror in Robert E. Howard's stories. A lot of horror.
I think it's because
they're basically fighting Conan and Solomon Kane and Call. They're basically monster slayers.
Well, what was nice is like so many of those guys ended up being friends with H.P. Lovecraft, and H.P. let everybody play in the sandbox, and so he started bringing that into his Conan.
Yeah. Like they were like swapping elder gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And H.P. Lovecraft wrote Howard's eulogy in the pages of Weird Tales, and called him Brother Conan. That was his name for his homie, whom he never met.
Oh, that's a 8mm was supposed to be a Batman movie, but it was too dark.
Really?
Wow.
Whoever wants to make that a Batman movie is out of their fucking mind. But yeah, Sallow, 120 Days of Sodom.
Geez,
film,
I still refuse to watch that.
Really more of a horror movie, though. But yeah,
I draw a blank. I feel like I have one on the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
That's an interesting genre, kind of a subgenre, or non-horror horror movies. John Skipp and Craig Spector wrote a essay about that subject, and they were like mentioning movies like Amadeus. Jeez,
Amadeus.
But yeah, no, we can get into that another time. It's like 2.5 hours. Can only do this shit for so long. But brothers, thank you so much for hanging out. Pops, tell these people where they can find you.
You can always find me here at the Madness Comic Network.
Hell yeah. Bracey, where can they find you?
Let's see. You can find my artwork on DeviantArt under Bracey100 on Twitter. You can, or X, however you want to say it. You can find me Bracey452, and on brain work. And right now on
weed.
I don't, and that's the terrible thing. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I'm just naturally
older, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I feel you, brother.
The only thing I can claim is I'm kind of ate up with OCD and ADHD, so I got to narrow my focus. On Kickstarter, we have Blood World Phoenix Throne. Speaking of sci-fi stuff, a wonderful sci-fi medieval fantasy space opera kind of thing. It's crazy. It's got a monarchy. It's got, people hanging out on the moon of Ganymede. It's got knights and power armor. It's got sex. It's got death. It's got blood. It's got gore.
That sounds awesome.
It's PG-13. It's awesome. Oh yeah, hardcore. That was fucked up. Are you talking about the George C. Scott movie?
I'm guessing. Yeah, the one that was written by Paul Schrader. But
yeah, hardcore was messed up.
Thanks for hanging out, Bracey.
Always
Matt, tell these fools where they can find you.
You guys could find me on Twitter at RuneCutter Comic. If you guys want to check out my channel, it's Metal Movies and Brewskis, where I do reviews. Saturday nights I do shows and talk about everything in metalldom, comics, movies, monsters, that type of shit. If you guys want to support me and check out my comic, it's Butch Cleaver. It's a it's a gothic horror western. It's on Fund My Comic. You can go to butchcleaver.com to pick it up, and I deliver within the next day. Thanks, Brian.
You got it, brother. You got it. And Preston, tell these fools where they can find you. And
X, Nikki the Pipe on X.
X? What the fuck is that?
X,
X, X-Men.
X is the extended?
Get in there.
That's where the angels and the demons hang out.
Oh, you mean the twatters? Is what you mean.
A left twitch or a right twitch?
Constantine, the Constantine. He's like, oh, whoa, dude.
Well, that's why I got angel wings on one end, and and bat wings on the other
Oh,
one.
okay.
Oh, badass.
That's cool.
God damn it, man.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Why can't I be as cool as Preston? Why can't I draw
Right.
like
I
Preston?
drew them all up. I got a whole book full of tattoo designs.
If
Because
we
I,
were
want,
all as cool as Preston, we wouldn't.
I, didn't
he wouldn't
want,
be
I didn't
special.
know what I wanted to do for the first tattoo. So
I
figured,
gotta get this motherfucker chained up in my basement. Is what I gotta do.
I'm gonna get him all kind of like,
Feed him dog food
He
and
just went,
use
whoa,
cow
whoa, whoa,
products.
whoa, whoa,
Draw,
whoa.
motherfucker, draw.
Work.
He said, "I'll draw for
Give
you."
him some slop.
Cleaning me up.
Small gorillas shooting
Right.
shooting
All right.
leg irons.
All right, Pops, you gonna take us out?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
some sponsor ads and some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's see the goodies.
Fellas, much love to you and everybody watching. Peace, love, and metal.
Hello.
Keeper of the royal armament, sword of restoration, prophetess of technology, and defender of the faith. I am Isabet Arnev of the House of Beatitude, and none shall dislodge me from the Phoenix throne.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
Just back it already.